Hi everybody, good Thursday evening to you and welcome to the opening round of Texas High School Football Playoffs on VypeFortBend.com. I'm Roger Smith. James Kovaleski will be along later. It's the Ridgepoint Panthers, champions of District 26A, hosting the Seven Lakes Spartans out of District 19-6A. We've got a jam-packed countdown to kickoff show for you, so we're going to step aside real quickly and bring you that. It will have trash-talking cheerleaders, visits with both head coaches, and you'll even meet the referee. I'm Roger Smith. Glad you're with us, and we'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
We're the Seven Lakes Cheerleaders. Welcome to the playoffs, Ridgepoint, but don't get used to it. Hope you cleaned your rifles because you'll have plenty of time for deer hunting starting Saturday morning. Coach Hammond is next on the Countdown to Kickoff show. Go Spartans!
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
It's the Countdown to Kickoff show on VypeFortBend.com here at Hall Stadium. Ridgepoint hosting the Seven Lakes Spartans. And the leader of the Spartans program is former Ridgepoint assistant Jimmy Hammond. First of all, welcome in and talk about your team's road through the district schedule that got you to this point.
Yeah, we started off with Katy, who obviously, as most of you guys know, won the 6A Division II state title. They ended up 10-0 this year. Really good team, and that's how we started. Then we had some pretty good games all the way through. Finished up with a win against Cinco Ranch last week to end up 4-2. Our 2 losses to Tompkins and to Katy, but got everybody else in our district. Really impressed with the way our guys played. They really believed in the game plans that we had each and every week, and it brought us to a 7-3 record this year, which is the second best in school history.
And won 4 out of your last 5, I believe.
Yes, sir. Won 4 out of the last 5. Lost to Tompkins about 2 weeks into that 5-week run.
Now, in terms of style, I usually think of Seven Lakes as a pretty prolific passing team, but it looks like you've had slightly less than a third of your yardage through the air, and you depend on your running game. What type of running game are you going to be bringing against the Panthers tonight?
We use 3 different guys to run the ball with. Number 5, Barrett Hudson's a sophomore. He's our leading rusher right now with about 835 yards on the season. Then we have Michael Amico as another running back. We'll line him up, both Barrett and Michael, in the backfield at the same time. We will also run our quarterback. I kind of laugh sometimes when I look at our stats because you might think we run the triple option with our top 3 rushers as our 2 running backs and a quarterback, but we just feel like we do better whenever we and get those and create some angles for our running backs to run between the tackles.
And one other thing that really jumped out at me is how strong you are as far as the turnover ratio. I believe it's plus 14. Of course, that's usually a team effort. You got to have good ball security on offense and an attitude that takes the football away on defense.
Absolutely. That plus 14 turnover margin was best in our district. And to be completely honest, that's what's helped us to that 4-2 district record and that 7-3 overall record. We've capitalized on some of the turnovers our defense have got. I think 5 out of the last 7 games we've got a turnover in the opening drive of the second half. We're looking to do that again. That helps put us in position to capitalize on what they give us. I hope Ridgepoint might put it on the ground, or maybe we can get one through the air.
Well, I'll tell you what, I know that I can't ask you questions at the molecular level like James Kovaleski can, but hopefully this will be passable for our Countdown to Kickoff show.
Absolutely, yeah. As you know, and anybody listening, James Kovaleski and I coached together. Actually, both of us assistants at Ridge Point before he moved on. So I do enjoy a good interview with how we call him Kovo, but Roger does a great job too, and we're glad to have him.
Thank you so much. The check will be in the mail. That's Jimmy Hammond, head coach of Seven Lakes. Thanks for. We've got more coming your way on VypeFortBend.com. Before we get this one underway between Ridge Point and Seven Lakes, we know you love them, the trash-talking cheerleaders. They'll be along. Don't go away.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show, and it's time to break the seal on the 2021 playoffs. Ridge Point and Seven Lakes here to introduce himself, and the rest of our officiating crew is our referee.
I'm the referee for tonight's game, Bill Stevens. My umpire is Rogers Chrisman. My line judge is John Ferris. My headline judge is Steve Prohoda. Back judge is Chuck Gurney. Field judge is Brian Gorman, and rounding out the crew at side judge is Brian Raines.
Outstanding, Mr. Stevens. Thanks for being here. What's more exciting than playoff football in the state of Texas? Not too many things.
Not a darn thing.
All right, we'll be back with our visit with Rick LeFavors, head coach of the Ridge Point Panthers, when we continue on the Countdown to Kickoff show right after this. This is VypeFortBend.com.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Welcome back to the Countdown to Kickoff show, playoff edition. It's Ridge Point taking on Seven Lakes. It's time to visit with Rick LeFavors of the Panthers. And Coach, I'm sure you've seen those clips of Bill Parcells saying to his players, this is why you lift all those weights. This is why you do all that. And I'm going to leave the word out. So talk about how the excitement level ratchets up when you have a playoff game.
We talked to our kids about this is a new season, and everybody's 0-0, and it's win or go home. So our kids have been understand this. We've taken each week, and we really haven't made a big deal out of it, other than just keep preparing the same way and preparing at a high level, so that we can play our best, and then if we do that, we can live with the results. But it really hasn't been a big emphasis other than just keep preparing the process and keep working.
These two programs are familiar with each other. You've met in the playoffs before, but would you say that over time, any familiarity they have with former Ridge Point coaches on the Spartan staff were not really here when they were under the Rick LeFavors Ridge Point program? The familiarity is kind of gone as far as, living in two households, right?
Yeah, I think the guys that would be associated from their staff with our players are probably 9th graders, 10th graders at best, and so we're not varsity and such, but there's familiarity with our staff too. We know those guys and are good friends with them. They do a great job, and so there's that kind of familiarity and respect for each other.
Well, let's talk about how your defense has had to change. You did lose a couple of players on defense, and you don't seem, to my layman's eye, you don't have the same bulk up front, but I think you have more speed as far as guys who can run sideline to sideline and fly to the football. Is that a good description?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that, and you hit the nail on the head. We lost a little bit of size interior wise, but We've replaced with depth and perimeter. That's one of the hallmarks of our not just our defense, but our team is our team speed. And so the guys can't fly around and get to the ball and make up for some mistakes and run things down.
It kind of reminds me of the way the Cowboys, before Jimmy Johnson's best teams really started to flourish, they were kind of wondering, well, the Redskins, when they get ahead of us late in a game, they're so strong they can overpower us. We need more bulk. But the Cowboys didn't go that way. They went with more speed to the football, and you just have so many guys that go in there so fast. Sometimes I have a hard time figuring out which number made the tackle.
I agree. But as long as they get there in a bad mood and finish it, then I'm good. So,
all right. Well, we look forward to several more visits with you. I don't want to get overconfident, but I have that luxury. You have to take it one game at a time, but looks like your team is really prepared for the playoffs, and good luck tonight.
I appreciate it. Thank you, always.
All right, we'll continue on VypeFortBend.com and get this thing kicked off. Roger Smith and James Kovaleski. See, I'm so excited I'm talking too fast. James Kovaleski and Roger Smith with you on VypeFortBend.com. Seven Lakes and Ridge Point. Stay with us. You'll enjoy it.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
We're the Ridge Point Cheerleaders. Welcome to the playoffs. Here's a fun fact. The Spartans are 0-5 all the time in playoff games, and they've never beaten Ridge Point ever. They got a 4-year head start on us, but we've won 13 playoff games. Get ready for number 14 tonight on VypeFortBend.com. Go Panthers! Woo!
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets, millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
The Captains are headed to the middle of the field here at Hall Stadium, and we're just about ready to get this one underway. We'll figure out who is going to get the football first, as it's Ridge Point against Katy Seven Lakes, two teams that have met twice in the playoffs before. Each time, Ridge Point came out the winner. And we'll talk about some of the different things about these teams. Ridge Point took down Travis last week. It was 31-17 right here at Hall Stadium. They earned the top seed out of District 26A. It's their 6th district title in 7 seasons in Class 6A, and their record this year 9-1 overall, with their only loss being to CE King, and they were 7-0 in district. By the way, the referee, Bill Stevens, is going to let us know who gets the football. Seven Lakes Spartans won the toss, but they defer, and a lot of teams choose to do that these days. So Ridge Point will get it first at the south end of Hall Stadium. Bert Emanuel Jr. last week, 16 out of 18, 265 yards, a pair of touchdowns in the win over Travis. Also 46 rushing yards and a touchdown. Ezel Jolly is the main man rushing for the Panthers. He has 457 yards on the season. Welcome in James Kovaleski. You're just in time for what should be a very exciting, I'm going to say, intersectional playoff game.
Yeah, no, I can't wait. I was in business in Little Rock today for work, and so I kind of just made it back just in time. But so happy to be here. It's a good crowd tonight here on the Ridge Point side. They're filling in rapidly, and should be a great game.
They really do have great followings for both teams, and Seven Lakes is one of those teams they never lack for players. They always have a large squad, looks like about 60 players over there. Even Sneeden is going to kick off for the Panthers, or rather the Spartans, to start this one. Mason Dawson is back to receive for Ridge Point. Marvin Session is there, so is Stefan Pasapia, and also Kieran Charlo. So any one of those guys could get it. The Seven Lakes band is loud, aren't they?
Yes, they are.
Sneeden gets the signal from the official, strides toward the football, and we are underway. It's a very high kickoff, and it is Dawson from the 2-yard line, straight up between the hash marks, has to make a move near the 15, and he's dropped short of the 16. Looks like Seven Lakes is fired up based on how they played that first one on special teams. Running down there to make the tackle was Cooper Witten. And here we go, Ridge Point, and we'll see if they are as successful on offense against a Katy ISD team in the playoffs as they have been dominating most of their Fort Bend opponents. Dossett and Jolly both in the backfield along with Bert Emanuel Jr. We also call him BJ. Now moving into the slot on the left side is Dossett. And now it's an empty backfield as Jolly moves into a 3-wide receiver set. And it's a fake on the jet sweep, and Emanuel carries it straight up the middle, and he picks up 3 yards from the 16 to the 19. It'll be 2nd down and 7 for these Ridge Point Panthers.
Yeah, we talked about leading up to the game in some of our pregame meetings that Ridge Point's a lot more explosive than Seven Lakes, so the good stop on the kickoff, pinning them inside the 20, and plus a nice solid stop. If they can just get Ridge Point to punt on the first series, I think that gives Seven Lakes a chance to hang around in this for a little bit.
And they will get the football to start the 3rd quarter, but on 2nd and 7, it's Emanuel to pass. He's flushed out of there and up the middle, 25-30. Big yardage outside the numbers on the far sideline across midfield, and finally bumped out of bounds. That's the explosiveness of Bert Emanuel, and the leading tackler for the Spartans, Scott Stanford, made the tackle there. If he hadn't, it might have been a touchdown for Bert Emanuel.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what I was just referencing. The danger for Seven Lakes is plays just like that. You play pretty good defense. Coach Dober, the defensive coordinator, brought the blitz, and you have a chance to make a big play, but a guy like Bert Emanuel can flip that to 180 real quick and make you pay for it.
Now, they did rule that Emanuel stepped out in his own 43, so it's 1st and 10 from there. Pistol formation. Here's a give to Jolly, stretch play, cuts it up near the left tackle and goes straight forward for a gain of 3. Gets it across the 45 to the 46. Stanford in there on yet another tackle. We'll see that happening a lot tonight. Also John Matheson, or correction, Ikachika Azima made the tackle along with Stanford.
Yeah, for Seven Lakes to have a shot, like I said, they're the definite underdog, but I think if they got to get a stop in this first series. So they got a 2nd and long here, got a shot.
There's a jet sweep. There goes Kieran Charlo. Little shovel pass, turns it up, 1st down and more. Inside the 40. Got one man to beat, and he breaks away. 20, 15, 10. Cuts back. Touchdown, Kieran Charlo of the Ridge Point Panthers. It's a 55-yard shovel pass, and I guess Bert Emanuel didn't have to work very hard for a 55-yard touchdown pass right there.
Yeah, and that's exactly kind of what we've been talking about this first drive. You know, Seven Lakes, it seems like every time that they get a nice tackle stop for 2 or 3 yards, the next play, it's a big one. And that's going to be a problem for them all night long. Seven Lakes very well coached under Coach Hammond and Coach Dober, but some speed kills. And definitely Ridgepoint has a surplus of speed tonight.
They really do. They have 4 or 5 receivers, any one of whom can run away from most secondaries. Austin Bowen on to add the extra point. His kick is up. His kick is good. 7-0 Ridgepoint. And it's just over a minute and a half into the game on VypeFortBend.com.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life. Like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
That Archer Volkswagen touchdown scoring drive by the Ridgepoint Panthers covered 74 yards, make it 84 yards. It took 5 plays, finished on a 55-yard pass from Emmanuel to Kieran Charlo. And there's a pop-up kick. Seven Lakes takes it at the 25-yard line and quickly ahead to the 33. That's decent field position. Bringing it back, number 1 on their roster, Kyler Foster, who is their number 1 receiver, James, with an average yards per catch of under 9 yards. So I'm wondering, you tell me as a defensive coach, you've got several very able-bodied, very fast members in the secondary for Ridgepoint and a great defensive front, and Seven Lakes runs 2/3 of their yardage. You know, less than 1/3 of their yards come through the air. Will we see man-to-man all the time, you think?
It's man-to-man right now on play 1.
Here goes Seven Lakes, and they kind of run the football by committee and do it a lot.
Ooh.
And they run off the left side for a gain of 2 yards. And getting up off the bottom of the pile, Barrett Hudson ran the ball on the first play.
I was kind of exclaiming there for the senior right guard, DJ Nektival, captain, returning starter, just had a pancake block there. So that's what Seven Lakes wants. They want to establish the line of scrimmage, and so not bad there on first down, gained a couple yards.
2nd down and 8. Ridgepoint with a lot of speedy tacklers, and there's a throw out into the right flat, and the pass is incomplete, in and out of the hands of the intended receiver, Braden Phillips. And coming on strong, Taylor Davis hit him right as the ball arrived. The quarterback is Grayson Medford. He wears number 3. He's a great running threat. 466 yards on the season and 7 touchdowns. So there's a lot that Grayson Medford can do, but he's not a big threat as a passing quarterback.
And I can tell you a little more about that after this play.
Michael Amico is in the backfield alongside Medford. Here's the snap. Fake to Amico, roll to the right. Medford looking down the field, throws sideline. And there's a beautiful catch. That's a very nice one. Bo Cluett makes the tackle, and that's going to be a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. They've got a location in Katy Cinco Ranch.
Yeah, Cluett's their favorite receiver. That was not an easy throw. That was covered. Grayson Medford dropped a dime over the defender. But Grayson Medford last year was their best player on offense, except he was a wide receiver. So he's a converted receiver to quarterback for his first time ever as a senior.
They have it at their 47. Medford turns around and hands it off, and there's decent yardage there off the left side as they give it to Barrett Hudson for his second carry. Hudson has 835 yards rushing. That leads the team, and his average per carry is 6.63. He scored 5 touchdowns, and he scored once from 66 yards away. So there are some players he can run away from.
good start early for Seven Lakes in terms of establishing the run. This tempo that they have right now is exactly what Coach Hammond wants.
They do have to be happy, and decent gain of 6 yards on that last play. 2nd down and 4 out of the spread. There's another give. It's Amico, their power back, runs hard over the right side, and he picks up 3, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 1. On the tackle, James Wally for the Ridgepoint Panthers, wearing their purple pants, dark gray jerseys with the white numerals and the white helmets. A number on one side and the Panther logo on the other.
Hey, Seven Lakes going fast now. You don't see that quite. Oh, the officials are switching which hash the ball is going to be on.
Right. I was wondering why they were moving over to the right hash all of a sudden. We'll see how Ridgepoint's defense can handle a short yardage situation against Seven Lakes. High snap. There goes Amico, and he's got the 1st down with a pickup of 3. That'll move the sticks.
Ridgepoint's kind of showing some interesting looks out here defensively. I still think if they just played their basic 3-4 front, I think they could really stuff Seven Lakes at the line of scrimmage. But Seven Lakes kind of finding little holes in there. Good job by the O-line for the Spartans.
And they are kind of taking their time, just trying to maybe get the Ridgepoint defense tired. Medford takes the snap, can't find what he wants immediately, rolls out to his right. Here comes the rush near the sideline, and he just throws it away. Wise decision as James Eaglin was bearing down on him, and Coach LeFavors is talking to one of his pass rushers, Mason Hall. I think maybe he's saying, make sure you don't get any hit out of bounds. I know you want to give him a love tap.
You got to start thinking a little bit if you're Coach Hammond, though. If you do get the 4th down, is this 4-down territory? Now that you're across the 50, almost to the 40 at Ridgepoint. I think he's going to elect to try to pin if they get stopped. It's only 2nd downer now, but if they get to that point, I think he's going to try to pin Ridgepoint.
Seven Lakes in the road white jerseys with the orange numerals outlined in navy blue, and the navy blue pants, navy blue helmets. And a whistle. Looks like we've got a timeout, and it's called by Seven Lakes. We'll take it with them. This is Vype, FortBend.com, 7-0 Ridgepoint, 7:39 to go in the 1st quarter.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstIronAuto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
And we are back. Ridgepoint came out of their huddle over near the sideline later than Seven Lakes did. 2nd down and 10. It's not often you get a timeout prior to a 2nd and 10 in the 1st quarter. Medford looks over to the right where he's got 2 receivers, and now it's going to run a quarterback draw. Moving to the left, James Wally hits him in the backfield, and he's dropped for a loss of a couple. Now it's 3rd down and 12, and this is something Seven Lakes doesn't want. They don't want to be behind the sticks.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see him keep it on the ground here. Like maybe a draw, a screen, that kind of play. Just because I think in this situation, Coach Hammond will want to try to pin the Panthers deep in their own territory on a punt, 4th down.
And they break the huddle. They have the ball at the Ridgepoint 43, and they need to get to the 32 to convert. Medford drops straight back, steps up in the pocket, looking down the field, finds a wide open man, and gets a 1st down inside the 30 to the 26-yard line. And that's his big tight end, number 85, Landon Ross, and it moves the sticks.
Yeah, if you're a Spartan fan tuning in, you got to be really happy with the offense on the 1st drive. MVP so far for the Spartans, I mean, Grayson Medford. His ability to move around with his feet and buy himself some time while still remaining as a passer. I mean, he's not really looking to tuck and run. He's keeping his eyes up the field as he maneuvers in the backfield, a la Fran Tarkenton or Steve Young or something like that. And it's creating some good passing opportunities for him.
I didn't know you were old enough to remember Fran Tarkenton.
I like the Vikings a lot, actually. So
27-yard line and up the middle. And cutting to the outside, pickup of 2 yards. They keep it on the ground with Barrett Hudson. So Hudson had 5 TDs. Michael Amico also with 5, and Medford ran it in 7 times. His passing, by the way, 65 of 132 on the year coming in. That's just a tick under 50%, but he is 7-7. 7 touchdown passes and 7 interceptions. But he has thrown smart passes throughout this evening so far. 2nd down and 8 at the 25. Fakes to Amico, rolls to his right. Now he's being chased. Finally lets it go. End zone, and it is. It is a catch for a touchdown.
Wow.
Yes, it is. Wow. It is Kyler Foster who went up and outdueled Taylor Davis and makes the catch. 26-yard touchdown pass for the Seven Lakes Spartans, and they punched right back.
Medford. Grayson Medford. It's hard for us to do justice on the radio how difficult of a play that was for him. He had a rush coming on his right side. He was able to easily break contain, beat the rush, and then throw an absolute dime in the back of the end zone.
And the kick up and good by Keegan Sneeden, who was 93% on his PAT kicks coming in, and he ties this game up. It is 7-7. We'll be right back on VypeFortBend.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
James Kovaleski knows Rick LaFavors about as well as anyone in the stadium. So you laughed when you saw the Ridge Point defense coming off after giving up the touchdown. What did you see?
Just how animated Coach LaFavors is when he's coaching. I'm not laughing at him. I'm just like loving the energy because I know him so well. But he was letting one of the defenders have an earful about a mistake in coverage there.
Sneeden with a high kick, and it comes down at the 5. It is Dawson between the hash marks and the numbers on the far side. Gets across the 20, but great coverage again by Seven Lakes. They stop him right at the 20-yard line. On the tackle, Daniel Krieger.
Yeah, the biggest thing I see from Seven Lakes, they are not intimidated. I could tell that on the opening kickoff. And there you go again on kickoff coverage. They are flying down there. Their issue is going to be, can they get a stop? They've had some good plays defensively, but Ridge Point's also busted off a couple long ones. So this is a huge possession here for the Seven Lakes defense to try to see if they can get the ball back. Tie game.
So they'll run out of the pistol. You've got Ryan Phillips in as a blocking fullback. He's in front of Bert Emanuel, and to his left, give straight up the middle. Ezel Jolly hitting the line hard, and he gets 3. Seven Lakes looking strong there as they fill the hole. Jonah Thigpen makes the tackle, and it's 2nd and 7.
Yeah, Ridge Point tried to run a little counter play there, and that's typically a team like Seven Lakes that kind of plays a reading style of defense. They're going to be pretty good against counters because they're not being over-aggressive one way or the other, so they fit that one up pretty good.
Clock is ticking, 4:50 to go in the first quarter, 7-7, Ridge Point against Seven Lakes. Emmanuel with 2 backs next to him. Dawson goes in motion. BJ drops straight back and throws over the middle. Wilson Batiste on the run, 45-50, going to the far sideline. A man is chasing him. He keeps going inside the 20, still going, stumbling, and into the end zone for a touchdown. It is a two-play touchdown drive that puts Ridgepoint back on top. Wilson Batiste from 76 yards away.
Yeah, one of my favorite things about our vantage point up here, kind of at the top of the bleachers, is seeing the parents of the players. I can see the mom and dad there. They're wearing Wilson Batiste jerseys down there, and they're having a great time celebrating their son for great play.
Well, you know, I don't know how Ridgepoint would stack up against the elite teams in the state as far as their receiving corps, but I think you'd be hard-pressed to find a group of 4 or 5 players who have so much speed at the wideout position. Austin Bowen's kick is up and good, and a special assist by Carson Gordon, the holder. It wasn't a perfect snap, but he got it right where it needed to be. It is 14-7, Ridgepoint on top. 4:25 to go in quarter number 1 on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
What is Vype Live? Vype Live is one of the largest and most respected broadcast and live stream networks in the state of Texas. Vype Live broadcasts any sport you can think of for youngsters of any age, from Pee Wee and Pop Warner to high school, club, college, semi-pro, and beyond. We also broadcast plenty of academic, fine arts, and community-related events as well, and now as partners with Flow Sports. Email us at info@vypemedia.com to find out more. Vype Live. We bring your teams to you.
Austin Bowen ready to kick it off for the Ridgepoint Panthers. Very short approach, very short kick. 25-yard line and up to the 30. Hit near the 32 and pushed back. Marcel Davis running it back. And I think Ridgepoint's very happy with that strategy. Just kick it high and let your coverage people get down there about the time the ball comes back to earth.
Yeah, that was a great point there. I can see Austin Bowen thanking Carson Gordon, his holder on that last, which you brought up. You did a great job bringing that up. That's huge. That was, honestly, we don't not doing it justice how big of a great job of ball handling that was for the holder there. But so now Seven Lakes back at it, and that's the thing. Seven Lakes had to really work hard, very hard for that touchdown, and Ridgepoint can answer in like a 3-play drive. So we'll have to see what Seven Lakes can do here. Can they hold serve?
It can be kind of discouraging. Medford hands off to Amico, goes around the edge, good blocking.
Yeah.
And he gets to the 40. That's an 8-yard pickup for Michael Amico on a first down run.
That's another big block from Nectavall. I already highlighted him for the pancake on the first play. This time he was showcasing his athletic ability, pulling out to the outside. So, man, a really impressive Nectavall. Whenever you have an offense, I typically watch for O-linemen, but when you have an O-lineman standing out like he's doing, that means you're playing really, really good. So if the Nectavalls are listening to this broadcast tonight, his son's doing a great job.
How about those Nectavalls? That was actually an 8-yard pickup, second down and 2. They run it straight up the middle. It's Amico. He keeps fighting. He was hit behind the line, but I think he got the first down just across the 42.
Biggest surprise for me, and I haven't really been able to watch Seven Lakes play this year. I went as a fan to watch them play Memorial at the very beginning of the season. I only stayed for the first half. I'm surprised how well they're running the football. And that's not a slight on them, but that's just talking about how good the Ridgepoint, entire defense is. Like, Seven Lakes really is consistently gaining positive yardage here on the ground. So that's definitely helping Grayson Medford being manageable down in distance situations.
There's another thing I notice about the offensive line. Tell you about it in a minute. They feed Amico again. He's pushed back after a gain of 1. They don't look like a big, physically imposing offensive line either.
Sometimes people joke, well, what's in the water over at Katy or North Shore or Westfield? Because you'll see a line of 6'5" guys.
Yeah.
That is not in the water filtration system in the Seven Lakes area.
Not lately.
All of them
are not 17 years ago.
Yeah, yep. I see a lot of 5'10", 5'11s. But they're playing hard, and they're getting it done.
They really are. Give Amico 2 yards on that previous play, second down and 8. Medford's going to roll to the right. Setting up a screen, and the pass is complete. It'll work inside the 50, and a big gain inside the 30-yard line for Seven Lakes. They slipped it out there to Marcel Davis.
Yeah, and then number 44, Dalton Plitt, he sniffed it out, and he was starting to react, but then Medford did a great job just dropping it right over his outstretched fingertips.
And Plitt was kind of leaning back and leaping at the same time. It might not have missed his fingertips by more than an inch or two, but once it got into the hands of Marcel Davis, off he went. Now it's 29-yard line. 1st and 10 for the Seven Lakes Spartans, trailing 14-7, less than 2 minutes to go in the first quarter. Medford drops back, quick release to the far sideline. Little comeback route near the sideline, and it's a catch for an 8-yard gain. Ryan Ramey makes the tackle on Preston Mendoza.
Man, Medford really delivers a good ball. I mean, I knew he's a good quarterback, and Coach Hammond feels good about it, but he's really putting some zip on the ball. So very impressive his performance tonight. I think he's playing the game of his career, game of his life here tonight, senior year.
And they are staying ahead of schedule, the Spartans are. 2nd down and 2, a lot of different plays that you can call on 2nd and short. Medford with a running back on either side of him. The snap goes over his head. He has to chase it back to the 42 and fall on it. What a terrible break. That's a loss of 21 yards for the Spartans.
And to go from 2nd and short to that, that's just debilitating. I really feel for Coach Hammond on that one.
By the way, you know a lot of coaches. I don't know if you were acquainted with Chris O'Neill, used to be on the Seven Lakes staff. He's now the head coach at Toloso Midway down in the southern portion of Texas. So he waited a long time, finally got a head coaching position. He really liked to coach a prolific passing attack, but this year Seven Lakes, when they complete passes, they usually complete them short. It's 3rd and very long, and Medford keeps it, runs over the left side, only picks up about 4. Taylor Davis ran him out, and I'm not sure what's going to happen here, Kovo. They're certainly too far away for a field goal. They'll probably just go for it, although they might line up like they're going to run a play and just punt it away out of that quarterback, the drop back a step or two in the spread formation. They might do that.
I would agree. I mean, it's really far to convert. I think it'd be a good opportunity to try to pin Ridge Point. Give your defense, the defense has actually had good starting field position, but maybe help them out even a little bit more and try to pin Ridge Point deep.
And they waited and waited until the play clock almost ran out, and then they called a timeout. We'll take one, too. It's VypeFortBend.com. Glad you're with us. 14-7 at Ridge Point, less than a minute left in the first.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546, 7 days a week.
Okay, we'll come back to that Knicks commercial spot. But Seven Lakes has already snapped the football, and they are punting it away. Marvin Session back to receive it. The ball's going to land rather short, but very effective.
Beautiful punt.
Hits near the 10-yard line and bounces out of bounds. By the way, their punter, Scott Stanford and Keegan Sneeden, kind of share the duties. And that was Sneeden with a 27-yard average, but it's not all about average. It's usually about the effectiveness. You pin Ridge Point back at their 11, that's good.
Absolutely.
Although, don't be surprised if they get an 89-yard touchdown. They kind of look like they're in big play mode.
Yeah, you're not lying about that.
You said the word explosive earlier, and we've seen it already. There goes Jolly, popping through the first wave of tacklers and carries it forward for a gain of 7. Ezel Jolly over the right side of the line. Scott Stanford makes yet another tackle for the Seven Lakes Spartans. He also had some help from his buddy, number 40, Cooper Witten. Clock keeps running. We're under 21 seconds to go in the first quarter. This may be the final play of the period. On 2nd and 3, Emmanuel claps his hands together, gives it to Jolly again, runs it straight ahead, but did not get the first down, and that's how the first quarter will end. It'll be 3rd and short for Ridgepoint when we come back. 14-7, the Panthers lead it on VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
The second quarter could begin in a very promising way for Seven Lakes if they can stop Ridgepoint on 3rd down in less than a yard. Ridgepoint from its own 20-yard line. And movement on the right side, Carter Groen, the Ridgepoint tight end, is going to get flagged for a false start, and he was saying he was just putting his hand down.
I don't know. Yeah, and Coach LeFevor's subbing him out. That was or no, maybe they brought somebody in.
They brought in a second tight end. It is Preston Cooper, or at least he has a tight end's number 88. So they're leaving Groen on the field. So it's 3rd and 6 for the Panthers.
Yeah, I didn't see anybody come out, though, so maybe that was the problem, was there was only 10 guys on the field for the last play.
You may be right, but is it a penalty if you only have 10? 3rd down and 6, Emmanuel drops back. They protect him well, sideline, Marvin Session, catch, 27-yard line, and a first down, a 12-yard pickup. And the defender right in front of him, number 2, Carson DiAgostino.
Yeah, you're right. It's not a penalty unless by not having that man, you don't have enough men on the line of scrimmage. But I think it was a false start there by the tight end as well.
The Panthers play quickly on 1st down, and they give it to Mason Dossett, slanting over right tackle and picking up 3. Right out in front, one of his big buddies, Peyton Farmer. By the way, Calvin Harvey, who was injured in that second game of the season against Dickinson, still rehabbing his injury. He's going to be going to Oklahoma State. We certainly wish him well, and I know it's just killing him to not to be out there with his teammates. On 2nd down, there's a give to Dossett going over the left side. He's got quickness, carries it to the 35. It's a gain of 4, and that'll bring up a 3rd down and 2.
I don't know if Seven Lakes has gotten Ridgepoint into 3rd down too much tonight. So this is a big opportunity. It's 3rd and short. It's going to be tough to stop them, but this would be the moment if you're Jimmy Hammond. You would like to see a snap go over the head of P.J.
Yes,
Hammond.
you look for a few breaks like that. 3rd down and 2, and they keep Dossett in there in the pistol formation. Fake handoff, and Emmanuel rolls to the right, looking way down the field, and he's going to pull it down and run and try to get the first down. It's going to be very close. I think he got it just enough. He usually knows where the stick is, even if the stick is on the other side of the field.
Yep, agree with that 100%. I mean, he's just so polished. I mean, to me, it really looks like it's a college kid out there playing high school football.
Yeah.
The size, the poise, the speed. I mean, just a really complete player.
I don't think people all over the state realize just how good he is, and hopefully they'll all get a chance to see. 37-yard line, 1st and 10 for Ridgepoint. Ryan Phillips moves in motion. And Emmanuel hands it off. There goes Dossett, dances into the secondary, puts his hand down to keep going, and he gets a first down carry, 13 yards, started left, cut back to the right, and sweet feet for young Mason Dossett, the sophomore. 4 49-yard line is the new line of scrimmage.
Still think this is a good drive for Seven Lakes defensively, though. Even though Ridge Point's moving it, at least Seven Lakes is extending a drive where they're not giving up a big play quickly.
Ridge Point really taking its time. 10 seconds on the play clock. Now they kind of hurriedly assemble to get it going on 1st and 10 from their own 49. There goes Dossett, hit in the backfield and drop. Seven Lakes was all over that one like ugly on an ape, I have to say. Shashwat Singh. I've been waiting all day to say Shashwat Singh. No relation to the golfer Vijay Singh, but he made a tackle for loss, I thought.
Yeah.
But it's actually a no gain.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Yep. I mean, that's the second tackle I've seen him make. He's been pretty active down there. That was one where Gossett, that play was designed to be, it's blocked to be run inside, and Gossett tried to bounce it, and Singh did a good job taking care of him.
2nd down and 10 for Ridge Point. 9.5 minutes to go in the first half. Fake and a throw out there into the flat. It's a backwards pass, and the catch is made, but he's dropped for a loss of 2, and that is Gabriel Bro. Seven Lakes, this is a great series for them so far. A no gain and a tackle for a 2-yard loss on a swing pass. And it looks like B.J. Emanuel is going to have to throw the ball down the field when they know he needs to throw it down the field. Of course, with his physical gifts, he can look around for a receiver and then he can pull it down and burn them with a double-digit gain. He's done it so many times. It's got to be frustrating if you're on defense. Empty backfield. Dossett moves out to a slot on the left side. Emanuel flushed to his left, looking down the field. He's in trouble. He's hit, and he takes the sack. 3 straight plays of either no gain or a loss of yardage. It's a 3-yard loss on the sack for Emanuel, and there's probably some talking going on, and maybe it was one of those situations. Ronald Morrison, one of the great linemen for Ridge Point, is probably saying, "Get off my quarterback."
Yeah, this would be really crucial to see which way they rule with this, because that'd be a gut punch to Seven Lakes if they get the stop and then allow a first down through penalty.
Every bit as devastating to their defense as that spread formation snap was to their offense.
And then Scott Stanford came down from his linebacker spot as a kind of a secondary rush, and what he did such a great job of was just breaking down. He didn't go flying past B.J. Emanuel or jumping or something like that. He just kind of stayed put and kind of corralled B.J. into where the rest of the help was, and they were able to get that sack as a unit, honestly.
You're right about this being a big call, and here's Bill Stevens.
Coach Hammond doesn't seem too angry. So.
Well, he won't be happy about that.
Oh, now he's angry. Okay, now he's pointing. It's almost like they told him one thing, and then because I was gonna say, like, Coach Hammond doesn't seem too upset, so I'm assuming he's been known, like, he's been alerted to what the call was, and then they just kind of pulled a sucker face. He's hot right now.
So that bails the Panthers out. The Seven Lakes defense had made them look bad on 3 straight plays, and it looked like they had forced a punt after a sack. And something happened in the aftermath of the tackle.
Wow. I've never seen Coach Hammond so angry, Roger.
Oh, wow. And you're seeing him from all the way across the field. Ball at the 41-yard line, 1st and 10 for the Panthers. Emanuel, fake handoff, looking for Session, near side and just over his head as he was basically running a flag route. And I think that is their fastest DB down there, Carson DiAgostino, staying with him.
I only laugh because Coach Hammond and I have coached together for a long time. We're good friends, and he's doing his best Coach Sniffen impersonation right now. Honestly, just like taking the hat off, pointing at the officials.
I wasn't going to mention Coach Sniffen, but now that you did, there were times when he would get rid of his cap and you'd see he's bald, because if you see him in a cap all the time, you don't know he's bald. You could fry an egg on Coach Sniffen's head. 2nd down and 10. Emanuel dropping back. Here comes the rush. He's hit and sacked again. 2nd sack for the Seven Lakes Spartans. Breaking through was the linebacker, Cooper Witten.
Man, Witten, Stanford, guys like that, they're doing, and that was Singh was back there too. Singh was the one that kind of corralled BJ to not let him sprint to the outside, and I'm impressed. I'm impressed at Seven Lakes. A lot of times whenever guys get back there, they go flying past. BJ just has to make a little move and he can avoid him. Seven Lakes is coming in there under control. And so they're able to make those tackles.
So that's the reason, I guess, that BJ Emanuel is not escaping so easily as he often does.
Absolutely.
Empty backfield, drops back on 3rd and 19, moves to his left, looking way down the field. Now he's going to pull it down and run. 45-40, breaks a couple of tackles. 35, stiff arm, 30, near sideline, and he goes out of bounds between the 25 and the 20, and that's how he can kill you, but there's a flag back near the line of scrimmage. So if the play stands, which we can see that it's not because all the players are walking back to the previous line of scrimmage, that would have been a gain of 28 yards. But it's all for naught.
Perhaps a makeup call.
Perhaps. I was thinking the exact same thing. So they got Jack Ream for holding. 7:23 to go in the second quarter. Ridgepoint leading Seven Lakes 14-7 in this by-district playoff game.
Man, what do you do in this, Roger? I mean, it's 3rd and I don't even know how many.
You try to bait the Spartans into a penalty.
Yeah.
That may be all you can do. 3rd down and 28. Emmanuel drops back. They protect him. He steps up. He moves to his left. Throws far sideline over the head of Marvin Session. A couple of yards short of the first down. Correction, it was Ezel Jolly who came out of the slot. You know, it was an empty backfield with 5 receivers, and it almost hit for Ridgepoint, and they'll have to punt for the first time. I haven't seen Taylor Davis punt in quite some time. They've had dominant wins these last few weeks. They might have had to punt a time or two last week against Travis, but I don't specifically remember it. Davis gets the punt underway.
Good leg.
Marcel Davis, no relation, watches it roll inside the 15 to the 14, almost touched by a Seven Lakes Spartan. What are you doing, kid?
Why are they getting near the ball? Yeah,
that's Daniel Krieger, and it's almost looked like he went down there and hopped over the ball.
Yeah. I'm already worried for my good friend Jimmy Hammond's blood pressure after the incident with the officials, so that's not going to help right there. Having one of his players right near the ball on the punt return team. But yeah, I kind of wonder if we could get a blood pressure cuff on head coaches whenever they get upset with officials. Like that moment with Coach Hammond when he took his hat off.
You mean a sphygmomanometer? That's what they call that thing.
Okay.
The sphygmomanometer. I don't know who they named it after. That's kind of a strange name. Sphygmo.
Dr. Anthony Sphygmo. No, I don't know.
Give him another first name. From the 13, 1st and 10. Medford drops back, gets the ball out of his hand quickly. Far sideline, battle for the football. Turn around and incomplete. It looked like a great catch, but I think the only problem for number 4, Bo Cluett, was his rear end came down on white field turf.
Yeah.
I think he made the catch. He made a quick turnaround. It was a late back shoulder throw with Ryan Ramey defending.
Bo is his favorite receiver. Took a shot with him.
2nd down and 10.
Oh, free play.
And somebody moves in the middle of the defensive line. Free play as Medford throws far sideline. In and out of the hands of Ramey. Could have been a pick, but it wouldn't have counted.
Yeah.
Because James Eaglin, the nose guard, jumped forward and made contact.
Yeah, on that last throw, I mean, maybe he put a little bit too much air under it, but I mean, honestly, like I've been talking about tonight, Grayson Medford is throwing dropping dimes.
Dropping dimes.
It's beautiful. Tight spiral, it's on the money, it's on time, and right there he had so much wherewithal to understand that was a free play and just take a shot to his favorite receiver, Bo Cluett.
Okay, offsides on defense. Holding against Seven Lakes, so the penalties will offset. Disappointing for Seven Lakes. They thought that maybe they would have themselves a 2nd down and 5, but instead it'll repeat 2nd down. It'll still be 2nd and 10. They move from right to left in this second quarter. 6:46 to go, and they trail Ridgepoint 14-7. By the way, at halftime, Kovo, we have somebody who is part of the reason that Ridge Point is purple. And we also, if you're interested in officiating basketball, we got some guys who are good to talk to, good to know. 2nd down to 10, play fake, Medford rushed. Moves over to his right, throws late over the middle, and what a completion! Finding his man come open as he got it to Dylan Garcia. I think that's Dylan Garcia. Correction, Dylan Garcia is a DB, and that was Tayshawn Matthews, wears number 81.
Grayson Medford's painting a masterpiece tonight. I mean, honestly, he is. Now, there's no doubt about it. Bert Emanuel Jr. is the best quarterback on the field tonight, but Grayson Medford is playing several notches above where I feel like he's typically been throughout his career as a new quarterback. He's really playing an awesome game tonight.
1st and 10 from the 25. Here's the give off the right side, and 5 yards for number 5, Barrett Hudson.
Nice double team there. Tight end number 85, Landon Ross, and then I think he was coupled with maybe a tackle number 60, Kyle Kirsten. They took their guy for a ride and deposited him about 15 yards down the field.
James Eaglin, the nose tackle for the Panthers, made the tackle. He got up kind of slowly and kind of limped around. He's not coming off the field, but he is kind of moving his right leg around, maybe to try and loosen it up. 2nd down and 5 for these Spartans. Turn around and another give to Barrett. Short gain, maybe a couple of yards. I said Barrett, I should say Hudson. Barrett Hudson. He's not related to Goldie Hawn, I don't think, or Kate Hudson. But it's 3rd down and 3 for the Spartans. Don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington, Texas. Why do they say Texas there? Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. 3rd down and 3. One running back in the backfield next to Grayson Medford, who wants to pass. He is pressured, can't find anyone now, moving to his right. Here comes the rush. Mason Hall is after him. And one of the Ridge Point pass rushers just missed a kill shot. That was James Wally, but correction, not James Wally, sorry about that. It was Cameron Richardson. Credit him with the sack, and it takes it all the way back to the 27. Loss of 4, and now it's time for these Seven Lakes Spartans to punt with 4:40 to go in this first half. And I think this is Stanford punting. Can you see the number there?
Stanford. Yep.
Okay, number 10, Scott Stanford. Good snap, gets it out of there. Kind of a short punt, fluttering over to the far sideline, and it goes out of bounds at the 43-yard line of Seven Lakes. So great field position for Ridge Point. Okay, Kovo, at halftime, first of all, do you know why Ridge Point is purple?
Why they're purple?
Yes.
Man, I should know this, but refresh my memory. I think I knew this at one time.
Terry Priest, former assistant athletic director for Fort Bend ISD, went to Abilene Christian. And he picked purple as the color because there were no purple teams in Fort Bend ISD. So that's how Ridge Point got its color. And we're going to talk to the women's head basketball coach at Abilene Christian at halftime. Her name is Julie Goodenough. How's that for a last name? She's more than good enough. She's a great coach. 41-yard line for the Panthers, leading 14-7. They would love to grab a 2-touchdown lead before the end of this first half. 3 receivers are bunched over here on the near side, and there's one in single coverage on the far side, and they throw it that way out of bounds. Let's see, I think they were looking for Wilson Batiste, and the ball, even if he had caught it, it wouldn't have counted because he was beyond the boundary. Excellent coverage there. I'm not sure who it was. Now I am. Testimony Ajayi. By the way, there are 3 Seven Lakes Spartans who have 2 interceptions each. Testimony Ajayi, Panache Mamvura, and Carson D'Agostino. 2nd down and 10. Emmanuel fakes the handoff, runs to the left, zigging and zagging across the 30, still going, far sideline and out of bounds at the 23-yard line with the first down. That's an 18-yard pickup and a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. It's amazing what he can do. He doesn't even look like he's running hard, but he is.
Yeah, just seeing the talent on the field for Ridgepoint, it's kind of surprising. It's a 7-point game right now. Seven Lakes still in it.
Now Emmanuel rolls to the right, looking downfield and fires it short and just past the line of scrimmage out of bounds. All he needed to do just to live to fight another down. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, last year, in the same matchup in the first round, Ridgepoint was able to really kind of jump on Seven Lakes early and kind of put it away early. This definitely reminds me more of some, what was that,
2018?
Yeah. 18. This is, it's shaping up to be a close game, although I still think Seven Lakes is going to need a big momentum play to go their way. Ridgepoint seems like they're threatening to stretch this thing out to a bigger lead.
Both teams are very strong in the turnover ratio, and neither has turned it over yet. There goes Jolly off the right side. Picks up 7, carries it to the 16-yard line. Just an ordinary, solid running play. Scott Stanford makes another tackle, teaming up with Shashwat Singh.
Yeah, because as good as the Seven Lakes defense is playing, Ridgepoint's still having a lot of success moving the football. That year in 2018, if you remember, it was kind of a defensive slugfest where both teams were getting stuffed at the line of scrimmage. It's not quite the case tonight.
And by the way, well, I'll hold on and save this for the next play. 3rd down and 3 for the Panthers. Emmanuel hands it off to Jolly, trying the left side, hesitates, keeps going inside the 10, 5, and knocked out inside the 5-yard line at the 4. It's going to be 1st and goal for the Panthers from right there. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Watching the defensive coordinator Phil Dover signaling in the defense there. They're probably going to be playing some kind of man-to-man down here at the goal line. It looks like what they're playing man-to-man.
And it's Emmanuel. He pulls it down, he runs, he gets to the 1, and he runs over a tackler and into the end zone for a touchdown, a 4-yard touchdown run by Bert Emmanuel Jr. And, he may be on the way to one of those nights where he accounts for 4 or more touchdowns. And there were 3 games this year where he accounted for a combination of 4 touchdowns, throwing and rushing. And the last time he did that was the Bush game, the next to last game of the year. So on comes Austin Bowen for the extra point kick to try and make it 21-7. Carson Gordon to hold. Good snap and hold. The kick is good. 21-7. Ridgepoint leads Seven Lakes. 3:18 to go before the half. And we'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
We are back, and in addition to head coach Julie Goodenough of the Abilene Christian women's basketball program, we'll also have a couple of gentlemen who can tell you how you can get involved in basketball officiating. You might love it. Austin Bowen with another short kickoff, and it's Hudson who makes the catch and falls down at the 15. I'm not sure if he had signaled fair catch. Probably did. That's probably the only reason he just decided to fall down. By the way, we're going to be all about Abilene Christian for the next 2 well, this week and next week, because we have their men's head basketball coach to talk to us next week. You know, Abilene Christian and the Southland Conference teams used to come to Katie's Merrill Center for their men's and women's postseason conference tournament. Not going to be true anymore. Abilene Christian has joined the WAC. 15-yard line. Seven Lake Spartans, and a snap through Medford's hands. He chases it back into the end zone. He's being rushed. He throws the ball past the line of scrimmage smartly to save it. Dalton Plitt was a couple of heartbeats away from getting a sack for a safety, and that one was not quite as bad as the first one. The other bad snap that they had totally cleared Medford. It was a couple of feet over his head. That one, it came through hot, and it was kind of high, but it bounced off his hands, and that slowed the ball down a little bit.
Yeah, and I think the thing that raised the degree of difficulty was the pressure of being in the end zone when he recovered the ball. He did a great job, because that very well could have been a safety or touchdown or something terrible for the Spartans.
I'm sure his heart rate went up. Give to Hudson, bounces it outside and picks up about 4 to the 19. And Ridgepoint takes a timeout. Terrence Howard made that last tackle, and with 2:59 to go, the Panthers want the football back. We'll take a break, and we'll see what they do on 3rd down and 6 coming up.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
We see all you do to get work done, whether it's keeping your office clean or redesigning your space for 3 or 300. Our business is to keep business going. Buy online and pick up in store, or get free next business day shipping at Office Depot, Office Max, and OfficeDepot.com.
Big play for the Ridgepoint defense. They want to get the football back. They lead 21-7 with 2:59 to go in the second quarter. It's 3rd and 6 from their own 19 for the Seven Lake Spartans. Medford has been great in the passing game. Fakes to D'Amico. He's being pressured, running to his right, looking down the field, trying to get the sideline, and he got the first down. A beautiful scramble. He just beat Mason Hall to the stick. There were a couple of Panthers in his wake. James Eaglin was making him sweat. And that moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. A fresh set of downs, but the play goes out of bounds to stop the clock with 2:51 to go. And the Panthers have 2 timeouts to help them keep some time on the clock before perhaps getting the ball back. Beautiful night, huh? Perfect weather for a spectator. There goes D'Amico off the left side and found a couple of little crevices and slithered through for a gain of 3. Ridgepoint takes that second timeout. We'll take it with him. VypeFortBend.com.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
Right here, it's Ridgepoint 21, Seven Lakes 7 with 2:15 to go. And Covo's got a score on Travis and Tompkins.
Yeah, Tompkins leading Travis 14-7, so probably much closer than I think most people would have anticipated.
By the way, the Ridgepoint girls eliminated a very tough Tompkins volleyball team on Monday of this week in straight sets at the Katy ISD Merrill Center. We had it live on VypeFortBend.com. Tomorrow night, the Ridgepoint girls are taking on Dawson. If they win that, they're into the Elite Eight, and they'll play for the regional championship on Saturday. 3rd and 10 for Seven Lakes. Medford drops back, flush to the right, throws off his back foot, finds a man, first down. That was beautiful. A 12-yard completion, and he gets it to Tayshawn Matthews for his second catch, and that's good for a first down. You're speechless because he's just doing such a good job floating over, finding that open receiver.
I don't think you can elevate his heart rate. I mean, he's a cool customer. Man-to-man coverage.
3rd down and 6, and Medford has to retreat near the sideline, flings it away, out of bounds, 1:44 to go. It'll be 2nd and 10.
Yeah, I think Medford's got to do a better job identifying that man-to-man coverage earlier to know that when you see that, you know the blitz is coming. And he just seemed a little bit surprised as the pressure came, and then kind of scrambled and threw it away. But to me, that's an opportunity. Maybe you take a shot to Bo Cluett. You know, just be ready to try to win and take advantage of those times you do get the one-on-one matchups.
3 receivers on the left side of the formation, and Bo Cluett is the widest one. He's out near the numbers over here. But it's an inside handoff. And Amico with a hard run of 3 yards, but Mason Hall, the brick wall, makes sure he doesn't go very far. And Ridgepoint doesn't have any more timeouts. So the clock ticks. We're under a minute and a half to go in the first half. Ridgepoint leading 21-7. And they're going to have to make something happen here quickly if they're going to get the ball back with something other than a punt.
Yeah, but Seven Lakes is not moving too quickly.
Yeah, they're still in the huddle.
I think they want to make sure they don't give the ball back to Ridgepoint, honestly speaking. I think Coach Hammond going down 21-7 at halftime is going to be fairly content with that.
3rd down and 8. Will they keep it on the ground? No, they're going to throw it. Actually, it's a quarterback draw. There goes Medford. Zigging and zagging, but could not get free. James Wally and Mason Hall in on the tackle together. The clock keeps running, and Seven Lakes can run it down well inside 15 seconds before they have to punt. It'll be 4th and 4. And you know, if they're going to run it down that much, they might not necessarily punt. They might just try to do something crazy, knowing that, you know, if they do fling the ball downfield and it falls incomplete, probably no harm done. They may run it down and take a timeout.
I think that's what they're going to do and then talk about it.
And there you go, a whistle with 1 second left on the play clock. We'll step aside one more time and return. 21-7 to Ridgepoint.
Hi, this is Mariela and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
right, Scott Stanford's going to punt it away with 13 seconds to go. Marvin Session is deepest for Ridgepoint. Taylor Davis is also back there. There's the punt, and it's going to bounce and take a hard left turn. It'll be Ridgepoint ball at the 33-yard line, their own 33, with 6.5 seconds to go.
Oh, there's a penalty. I think it might be a blindside block against Ridgepoint.
Oh, no.
I saw one of the Seven Lakes guys take a big shot. So that'll back him up, but I imagine Coach LaFavors will probably just kneel the football here 6 seconds ago.
You know, would you say, since you coached with him, would you say that it's possible if the ball was right there at the 33, maybe they would try to do something, but 15 yards farther back, probably kneel or kneel either way?
Yeah, I think so. Maybe at the 33 with his type of the skill kits he's got, I would take a shot. But yeah, backed up back here, if there's an errant snap or fumbled handoff, it could turn into a touchdown quite easily. So in this situation, I would kneel it. I think Rick will probably do the same.
So the penalty yardage moves it all the way back to the 15. So, yeah.
Well, maybe not. Looks like they're setting up to run a play.
Yeah, they look like they want to do something other than kneel.
Stephen Goodwin's the offensive coordinator. He's called a really good game so far. They've been very efficient. We'll see what they try here.
3 receivers on the right, 1 on the left. Emmanuel does want to throw it, and it's just a little screen to Ezel Jolly. Gets to the 20. Far sideline hit, gains about 12 yards, but that's how the half ends. We'll be right back with Julie Goodenough, head coach of Abilene Christian women's basketball. You will be surprised at some of the things she has to say. Thanks for being with us.
Are you ready?
Ready for anything. For what life throws at you, at your kids.
Are they ready to study, research, write papers?
To do all the amazing things they don't even know they're capable of yet.
Internet Essentials from Comcast brings affordable, high-speed internet to your home for only $9.95 a month. Now available to low-income households eligible for public assistance programs like Medicaid, the National School Lunch Program, SNAP, housing assistance, and others. Visit InternetEssentials.com to apply. No credit check, contract, or installation fee. Taxes, extra restrictions apply.
Welcome back. This is halftime in our playoff coverage on VypeFortBend.com. And we haven't talked to this person before, but it's a real honor to talk to Julie Goodenough, the women's head basketball coach at Abilene Christian. Their season just started, and amazing things have been happening at Abilene Christian. Welcome in, Coach Goodenough.
Thank you. So excited to be here.
So let's start with colors. You have been a head coach at Hardin-Simmons University, which is in Abilene, and now you've been the head coach at ACU for 9 seasons, just started your 10th, and I guess you had a lot of purple things that you didn't have to get rid of when you made that transition.
And just thinking about it, so I'm going into my 19th year wearing purple. So the other 8 years I was non-purple. So yeah, I've been purple a lot, and my husband is a principal at Wiley here in Abilene, and they're also purple. So we have a lot of purple in our house.
All right, so I believe someone named McCoy used to coach at Wiley, but we'll get to that in a couple of minutes. Let's talk about what ACU has done the last, I guess, 9 or so years that you have been the coach. They were in the Southland Conference, and I kind of regret that I missed a chance to go out to Katy and see you play in conference tournament action, because you're not going to be doing that anymore. Now ACU is a member of the WAC.
So my first year here was our last year in the Lone Star Conference, and honestly, I never learned any of the Division II rules or anything like that because I knew we were going into the Southland. And we were really blessed that the Southland Conference took us in when we decided to make that move to Division I. We had a really good run in the Southland, lot of good leadership there, really good as far as women's basketball, good women's basketball coaches in the Southland. And we had, I feel like, a lot of success. We won 3 conference championships in the Southland and sort of figured out a winning formula. But that all is behind us. We're moving into the WAC. We're playing, half our schedule is against teams we've never played before. We're going to venues we've not gone to. We've had the Southland travel sort of figured out, fly here, bus home. So, when we leave Texas for the WAC, we'll be flying everywhere. Really fun trips, it looks like, on paper. But we're excited about the WAC, and I think that the 4 schools who left the Southland who are joining the WAC are going to make the WAC a really good basketball conference.
So as I ask this next question, I'm assuming your answer would be, well, ACU, of course. But you have a lot of unfamiliar opponents. So given the Southland schools that are moving over, plus the existing WAC schools, who should be the favorite to win it all in women's basketball in the WAC?
Man, I'd like to say ACU, and obviously that will be our goal. I would anticipate, and I may be wrong, but I think there's going to be a great battle between Cal Baptist, Grand Canyon, SFA, and ACU. I think those are going to be the top 4.
All right, we'll be back and talk more with Julie Goodenough, the head women's basketball coach at Abilene Christian University. This is VypeFortBend.com playoff coverage, and we'll continue.
All of us love sports, but not all sports are created equal. College sports have big budgets, dedicated alumni networks, and corporate sponsorships. Professional sports have even deeper pockets. Millionaire owners, lucrative TV and radio deals, and merchandise sales. High school sports have you. Everyone agrees high school sports give us plenty of reasons to cheer. And now's a great time for us to give back. Supporting your hometown high school won't cost you much, but it will go a long way to ensuring the games we love the most are here to stay. Texas high school sports. They're good for our kids, good for our community, and best of all, they're good for you.
This message presented by the Texas University Interscholastic League and the Texas High School Athletic Directors Association.
Welcome back to our halftime show, VypeFortBend.com, and it's our visit with Julie Goodenough, the women's head basketball coach at Abilene Christian. And let's talk about all the wonderful things that you've accomplished when you've been leading the program here up until the spring of 2019. You've had some really good seasons.
Yes. We have had a lot of success. My first year here, we won the Lone Star Conference. It was the last year in that league. And then we've had some success in the Southland Conference, and we've been blessed with some really good players. And so, like I said, I think that we sort of figured out a winning formula for the Southland and enjoyed success there. So we're excited about the challenge of the WAC and just seeing what does it take to dominate that league.
But I know players and coaches often remember the one that got away, whether it's the game that got away or the season that got away, and it was through no fault of your own. So many great teams just had to watch the spring of 2020. The wind just blew their great season away. What kind of team did you have ready to make a long postseason run in 2020 when COVID hit?
Yeah, our 1920 team can arguably be forever known as the best team we've had since I've been here. We dropped a couple of games during the season, so we didn't win the regular season. We had a couple of injuries, but we were shooting on all cylinders the month of March and playing our very best basketball. We were about to go win the Southland Conference tournament. I mean, for all practical purposes, I think we were by far head and shoulders the favorite to win that and go to the NCAA tournament back-to-back seasons.
Well, I'm really sorry that did not happen, but let's move on to something else. In the first part of our visit, we talked about when you wear purple, and you mentioned Abilene Wiley, where your husband is part of the landscape, part of the furniture, I guess, by now. So I believe that Brad McCoy coached at Wiley for a while, did he?
Jim Ned.
Okay,
yes,
that's right. Well, I know there was someone who played football at ACU when I went here way back in the 1980s, and he was the coach at Wiley. But yes, Brad McCoy was the head coach at Jim Ned, where he coached his son Colt, who went on to greatness at the University of Texas. And way back when, Burl McCoy was the women's head basketball coach here. I went to Camp Wildcat and learned from Burl McCoy. That's why I was so proud of his grandson Colt for the things that he accomplished. But it is basically Burl McCoy whom you are chasing for the all-time wins total at ACU. And are you counting those things?
I am not. I'm sure my husband knows what that count is. I do not.
But did you ever get a chance to meet Burl McCoy?
I actually have coached games in Moody Coliseum where I would look across the Coliseum and Burl McCoy would be sitting over there with Wayne Williams, another former ACU coach. And so, I just want to do those guys proud. Wayne and I are good friends. He's still here in town. We see him a lot at our games, but I've seen Wayne and Burl sitting together watching us play, and I want to do a great job to honor the work that they did when they were here.
All right. Well, the best of luck to you, Julie Goodenough and the Lady Wildcats. And I guess I can't go down to the Merrill Center in Katy and watch you play for a conference championship. That's a shame. I should have taken advantage of it, but I'm usually too busy calling high school games at the times when you're there. And here's a little tease for next week's playoff coverage. We're going to talk to another ACU basketball coach, and it's not who you think, because Coach Golding, who was the architect of the big upset win in the first round of March Madness as they knocked out the Texas Longhorns, it'll be his replacement, Brett Tanner. So we'll talk to him next week. Thank you, Julie Goodenough, and good luck the rest of the season.
Thank you very much.
We'll continue on VypeFortBend.com.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
Welcome to halftime, and as we have every single school year, there's an overlap. One school is winding down or getting into the playoff period, and another one is cranking up. And so as we get into the second half of the football season, we know that basketball can't be too far away. And how about this for guests on the halftime program? The Texas High School Basketball Officials Association. We have not one but two experts in the field, David Allen and Dale Hudson. And I'm going to start with you, David. You're into recruiting officials. What makes it difficult to recruit officials for any sport, even in the best of times, and what's the current climate for basketball?
Well, right now, coming out of a pandemic, I think the climate's good because people are wanting to get back out. Whether it's good times or bad times, recruiting new officials is always getting them over that fear of coming into an environment where fans can sometimes always be loud and yelling at officials, whether you make a good call or a bad call. Coaches sometimes always yelling at you. But once they're on the floor, they overcome those fears. I think they get excited. They love the game. And getting them through that first and second year of a brand new official, they tend to stick around a lot more.
All right. Well, Dale, first of all, we're going to give you and David plenty of chances to say this, but what is the contact information you want our listeners to hear if their interest is piqued and they're thinking, I might want to be a basketball official, or at least try it?
What we generally do is direct them to a local chapter. We have 29 local chapters around the state of Texas, and depending on where you live, you would need to contact that local chapter. They all have websites that you can look up, and they will have a contact individual on there that can help you through the registration process. But basically, we require all of our basketball officials to be members of a local chapter, to join the state organization, and that starts your process. Then you'll attend meetings at the local level. You'll have training and development, and then you'll actually get out on the court and get to utilize those things that you've learned in those sessions.
And I guess maybe if they just put in THSBOA and then chapter, we would probably be able to find it. And then you can go to the main website, www.thsboa.org, and you can probably put in your zip code or whatever and find out more. Well, Dale, you also gave me a percentage that frankly was a little bit depressing. You go out and recruit as many folks as you can and try to get them at least try it out. But what is the percent retention rate after 1 year of trying officiating? How many do you have stick around and come back for another season or more?
Our latest statistics are around 30%, which is a little bit troubling because as school districts build more and more schools and there's more and more teams that are playing games, we need obviously more officials to officiate those games. Generally speaking, if we can get an official to come in and join one of our chapters and work for 2 to 3 years, we will keep them because they have gotten through that initial experience and they'll stick around and maintain a career in officiating. It's that first and second year that's very difficult to retain them. Plus, on the other end of the spectrum, you've got older officials that are retiring. They're becoming a little bit less physically fit and are not able to keep up with the game. So we're constantly in need of an influx of new officials to continue to grow our sport.
Well, David, are there some particular personality types that just are not a good fit for officiating? And how would you describe those? Not that they're necessarily some 21st century phenomenon, just in general.
Well, I'll tell you the first part of that question, I can tell you what is a good fit. You know, there's a lot of players that play the game, that know the game, they understand it, but they may not, as they finish high school, they may not necessarily be going on to college in basketball or playing that next level. They know the game, they make great officials. So those are the type of people that would love to come in, you know, and get them through that. Sometimes we lose them because they finish college and they go into their careers and they just don't have time to officiate, which is unfortunate. Until they get a little bit older and established, they come back. But to answer the question, by not the type of dynamics of individuals that don't really make a good fit, somebody who just is very timid, not vocal, you know, you want to be a little more forceful. So if you're shy and you're not, you know, you've got to be able to at least express some voice and not be afraid to make a call in a split second. We ref in real time. We don't get the luxury of going to a monitor. So you want somebody who can make a judgment call and have an opportunity to learn and understand the game.
I'd just like to add that a great percentage of our job as basketball officials has to do with communication and managing people. Yes, we expect you to know the rules and know how to apply those in the game situations, but it's your interaction with the people involved in the game, the players, the coaches, and even the fans, that really will determine your success as a basketball official.
And I guess that it's always a good idea to just make sure you don't establish some kind of adversarial relationship. I know that sometimes there are going to be coaches who, for whatever it is that's in their field of experience, they might tend to not trust the official until the official maybe gives them a reason to trust them. But without using any names, do either one of you have maybe an interesting situation from the past where you could tell us how some dialogue went, where it went south a little bit despite your best efforts, either one of you?
I can tell you from experience that sometimes, you know, as Dale was saying, communication, you know, sometimes as we try to, as a coach, we'll get caught up in the game. They'll see a play from a different angle from what we see. They'll, you know, disagree with you. And sure, we can, you know, we could come back and say, hey, what's the question? I know you disagree with me. But sometimes, you know, they're going to come at you. You're caught up in your game. You're going to come at them. And it's just, there's a no-win situation. A coach will just go past that boundary. They're no longer in a educational role. They're just coming at you, and you have no choice but to issue a technical. And so it doesn't end up well. If we can kind of do what our job is right, have a dialogue with a coach, you know, answer questions. We're happy to answer a question, and we try to teach our new officials to be approachable, to communicate. And, you know, we can sit in an environment like this and we can have a great dialogue. On the court, we all sometimes just tend to become totally opposite of what we know as a friendship, and not even a friendship, but a communication. So hopefully we can, coach, what's your question? Answer the question, move on down the court. We're all in a good environment, and that keeps the game flowing.
We're talking with David Allen and Dale Hudson of the Texas High School Basketball Officials Association, and we're going to take a break in just a moment. But Dale, would you say that those 20-somethings that you might kind of have your eye on as possible future officials in basketball, do they tend to gravitate more toward basketball than other sports? And if so, why? If not, why not?
As David mentioned earlier, the young men and women who have played basketball, I believe, have a distinct advantage over other people because they have been involved in the game. They know the structure of the game. They know what the rules are. And those people tend to gravitate to basketball because that's what their experience has been in. But there's a need in every sport for officials, umpires, referees. So if you're inclined, if you're a sports fan and you're inclined to get involved in the game and you're no longer able to play the game because of your age or whatever the reason is, this is a great way to stay involved with whatever sport that you choose to be involved in. I know when I finished my career as an active official, I wanted to find a way to stay involved in the game. And so now I spend most of my time observing and evaluating officials, giving them feedback and trying to improve their skill sets so that we can continue to maintain a quality product throughout the years to come.
All right, we're going to take a timeout. It's not going to be a 20-second timeout, but we're taking a full, and we'll be back. And there's something that might be coming. It might be on the horizon for high school basketball. And it may never be the same if indeed it is implemented. We'll talk about that when we continue on VypeFortBend.com, talking to David Allen and Dale Hudson. They are very experienced basketball officials looking to find more for future generations. We'll be back.
We mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max. Taking care of business.
Welcome back to VypeFortBend.com football coverage of Fort Bend County games. And we know that basketball is not that far away. There are already teams that are practicing and getting ready for the new season, both boys and girls. And I want to just bring your attention to something that you may or may not be aware of, but the great comedian Jerry Seinfeld once pointed out that there are some really disgusting jobs in this world. Terrible, terrible, distasteful, repugnant jobs. And yet, no matter where you are, somebody steps up and says, I will do it, and does those jobs. Well, it can be tough to be a basketball official. You don't get a lot of love out there, and yet somehow we always seem to have basketball officials, and God bless all of those people who have. And if you have, maybe criticized an official, maybe you ought to think about being one. But anyway, I didn't mean for that to take so long, but I wanted to tell you that the University Interscholastic League, which governs all public school, high school sports in the state of Texas, has decided, at least for now, to put on the shelf the idea of having a shot clock. But eventually we might have one in the high school game. So, gentlemen, what say you? Does anybody have an opinion on whether we need a shot clock or whether we shouldn't have one?
Well, it's funny because you see both sides. You have some coaches that are in favor of a shot clock, some that are opposed. And obviously, in instituting a new thing like this across the state of Texas, there's a cost factor that's going to be involved to retrofit all the gyms. And another person now at the scorer's table that, right now it's hard in some places to make sure you even got a scorebook and a clock operator. And now you add in a shot clock operator. But from a game standpoint, I think it kind of does add excitement to the game. Because they've got to get their possession every 35 seconds. Or, I'm assuming 35 seconds is what Texas would be. And so it does add excitement to the game. It adds a new element for officials to be involved in. And so I think it would be good. But probably you're right. For the near term, I don't see it happening in Texas. And we'll just kind of have to continue to work with what we have until something does change.
So David says, not for a while. If indeed it ever does happen, do you see it the same way?
Well, according to the Texas Association of Basketball Coaches, the polls that they have taken of their constituents has been not in favor of the shot clock right now. However, I think over the next few years there'll be more and more support for it. The one thing I personally like about the shot clock is that even though it does take away a coach's option of stalling, I think it forces a team to continue playing basketball, especially toward the end of periods. You don't have situations where two teams are just standing there looking at each other. You still have continuous action. And even though a team may have a lead, they're still required to play basketball during a shot clock interval. So I think eventually it will become something that the high school associations will adopt. But as of right now, it has been approved by the National Federation for High Schools. But each state must make the decision for that state. And right now, Texas has chosen not to do that.
Well, Dale, I agree with you because my philosophy is that a basketball game without a shot clock is kind of like a football game without downs. It's kind of as if you watched football and all a team needed to do was snap it and not turn it over, they could keep doing that. So I kind of like the shot clock as a thing that would kind of speed things up. I know it would be a cost thing, definitely a cost thing, but I also know that when there's money to be made, we're likely to see something like that. Can you imagine what a company would do to work to get the bid from the UIL to install shot clocks all over the state, or even to install them in a particular district, some of these large districts? That would be very profitable. We expanded playoffs in football, and I don't know, I know it would cost a lot, but people would make a lot off of it. Am I right?
I think you're right 100% that, when the interest is there enough and the coaches all agree that this is what the sport needs to go, the cost will just kind of be integrated into it. It'll make it happen. If they really want to do it, they'll make it happen, whether at 1A or whether it's at 6A. And that opportunity could be there for an advertising opportunity or just whatever reason they decide, they'll make it happen.
All right, David. Well, the third quarter is coming soon, but I want to ask one more question. Dale, tell possible basketball officiating recruits out there, if there's one thing that the newbies tend to say, I had no idea that I was going to learn that fill in the blank after a year or two officiating. Is there's something that maybe is a pleasant surprise? And David, if you want to chime in as well, is there any such thing they're thinking? This is where we need to turn on the Jeopardy thing.
I will tell you, here's my recommendation to every brand new official that comes, because looking back over the last 32 years that I've had, I wish I would have done this more officiating, because when I started reffing, officiating basketball and volleyball at the time, who would have thought 32 years later I'd still be loving the game? And I think that's it. I love the game. I do it for the love of the game. It's nice to get some compensation, but here's the one thing I would tell any new official, and it's just my personal advice: keep a journal of your games, because you meet so many people, you make so many friends, and you have so many different stories and experiences from every game that would make a great thing to look back on and says, I remember this game, and you talk about a story with a coach or an incident that happened. You have that journal. So that's my recommendation to any new official. As you come in and you love what you're doing, keep a journal of your games.
Now, that's I should have asked a better question. I should have said, what would you tell a new official that maybe they don't get in the training? What would you say?
One of the things that I have found in my experience dealing with younger officials is the importance of watching video of yourself. I go out and observe and evaluate a lot of officials, and I can give you information, but when you actually see yourself on a video and see some of the things in person, it really makes an impact on your ability to incorporate those things into your game. And it doesn't always have to be games that you officiated. If you watch any games and you focus on the officials, you can pick up tendencies of officials that have become successful and try to incorporate those into your game. It's a constant learning process. One of the things that we try to do is get young officials out on the floor as often as possible, because the more times you're in a situation, the more routine it becomes for you, so that when you see it again, it's very simple to remember how to call it.
All right. Well, one other thing, just FYI for all our listeners out there, it tends to be a better market for recruiting officials when employment opportunities are not abundant. So just keep that in mind. In other words, what does it mean for you? It means you can make some extra money if you decide to be an official, something you can put on a resume, and who knows, someday you might be on TV during the Final Four of NCAA. Who knows? So thanks very much, Dale Hudson, David Allen. It's been great having you.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Roger.
All right, so don't forget, go to www.thsboa.org. That's the Texas High School Basketball Officials Association. If you want to find out more, we'll be back with some scores right after this on VypeFortBend.com.
Hello, I'm Gary Horn with Horn Solutions. We agree with energy analysts that the energy market has stabilized. We anticipate significant merger and acquisition activity. Good resources are scarce. Horn Solutions is positioned to assist you in accounting, finance, IT, and supply chain. Our staff can assist you with outsourcing, or we can supply you with resources to join your staff. Visit hornsolutions.net for details.
Gary Horn is a highly successful businessman who has made a huge impact in people's lives, and he loves what he does for a living. That's a big reason why Gary Horn and Horn Solutions support Get a Great Gig. Get a Great Gig is a free job search consultation service that will help you find a job you love, whether it's to make more money or get personal fulfillment in the career of your choice. Email them at getagreatgig@gmail.com or on Twitter at getgreatgigs.
The Seven Lakes Spartans are running back out onto the field. The Ridge Point Panthers will do the same in just a moment. James Kovaleski has some scores of first-round playoff action in Greater Houston.
All right, entering the fourth quarter, Tomball 42, Cy Park 21.
What?
Yeah.
Cy Park?
Yeah, they're 42-21 down to Tomball.
Wow. That's a wow,
yeah,
isn't it?
Yeah. Madison trails Crosby 41-0. My pick to make it all the way, Spring Westfield Mustangs lead Conroe 27-0 at halftime. The big surprise we talked about is Tompkins over Travis, only 21-14 at halftime. North Shore leads Dobie 42-0. College Park over the Aldine Nimitz Cougars 35-0. And Pato has defeated Galveston Ball 54-0.
No surprise there. I think Pato, I know you never really want to lose a game, but the fact that they lost to Manville, I think kind of made them a little humble and a little more hungry, as if they weren't hungry enough for a state championship. Those Pato Panthers, I think they have what it takes to win state in Class 5A Division I. And it's a shame the Hightower Hurricanes have an outstanding team. They're just in a crushing district. You have Manville, which Hightower beat. They lost big to Pato, but they handled Foster, which is down this year. Foster normally is a playoff team, and Hightower handled Angleton pretty well. So Seven Lakes is set to receive the football. They won the toss prior to the opening kickoff, but they decided to defer, so they'll get the ball and they will try to move from south to north. That is from right to left here at Hall Stadium, and Holden Gray comes on to kick. It's kind of interesting what LaFavors has done. The coach has had Austin Bowen kick in the first half, both place kicks and kickoffs, and then he brings in Holden Gray. And it looks to me like, I guess Holden Gray is wearing shoes, but they kind of look like little slipper socks, don't they?
They do.
And he puts the kickoff in the air. It's a high kick, and it is fair caught at the 12-yard line. First chance for Bryce Turner to field the kickoff, but he doesn't run it back. And so Seven Lakes is going to start at the 25, and they trail 21-7. And would you say this is a must-score drive for the Spartans?
Yes and no. I think that they cannot go down by 3 scores and have a chance to win. So if they don't score here, but they can stop Ridgepoint, then I think they still got a shot. But yeah, it definitely would help their chances to score on this drive.
Medford sends Cluett in motion. Now he fakes a handoff, drops back, and he runs straight up the middle, and a huge gain across the 40, across the 50, still going, and knocked out at the 45-yard line, the far sideline. Ryan Ramey ushered him out, but there's a flag back here, and it's holding against the Spartans. That's got to be terribly frustrating for Seven Lakes. What a beautiful play. It looked designed, didn't it?
No, I don't think it was designed. I think that was just great. I think they were trying to do a play action pass. Ridgepoint did a good job not biting and had double coverage on the deep post. And so Grayson decided to tuck that one and run. And I've been saying it all night. I mean, I've just been so impressed with his play. But it's all for naught, big holding penalty there. So this is where it gets dangerous. Now you're backed up inside your own 15-yard line. Maybe that Ridgepoint defense can kind of pin its ears back a little bit. This is the danger zone where you fear a turnover for the Spartans.
So on the year, plus this playoff game, Medford has thrown 8 touchdowns and 7 interceptions. Ridgepoint is pretty good at picking off passes. And will they bring a blitz? Well, it's Amico running the football 4 yards over the right side. And whatever Ridgepoint had cooked up as a run blitz, he didn't break through it. And Amico is a power back, not a speed merchant, so he's not really a threat to do that.
Yeah, Ridgepoint's showing some really cool defenses here. Kind of a 5-1 look with only one high safety at times, which is Taylor Davis. So they're doing a good job. They'll either show that they have 3 safeties deep or sometimes just 1 safety deep. They're doing a good job mixing it up.
Second, and we'll call it 17. Medford drops back. Here comes the pressure, and the ball is tipped. It's caught by Marcel Davis, but in the backfield for a loss of 2. It hit a Ridgepoint player's helmet.
Yeah, I think it might hit Dalton Plitt's hands.
It
almost looked to me like he could have caught that, but it ended up being almost like a volleyball set, like you're going to be watching on Saturday with Ridgepoint. And
I sure hope so, Kovo.
He just kind of set it up, and then number 85 for the Spartans, Landon Ross, able to. Okay, but that's what I was talking about. Like, I just felt this feeling like, if you're a Spartans fan, you're in a danger zone right now because Ridgepoint's going to try to take that ball.
And you said danger zone or something like that. Third down and 20. Medford looked like he's just going to keep it. Gets out of the backfield, 15, far sideline, outside the numbers, and gets back to the original line of scrimmage and maybe a yard more than that. And now it's going to be time for the Spartans to punt. And so, you told me it wasn't really critical to score here, but it certainly is critical to keep Ridgepoint off the board right here.
That is my answer. And so if you ask me, Kobo, if Seven Lakes gives up a touchdown here, are they in deep trouble? My answer is yes.
Marvin Session has returned to punt for a touchdown this year, but that was way back in September. It might have even been in August.
Oh.
What's going on here?
They had 12 guys in the field.
Oh, my
God. He kind of gave that look, you know what I mean?
Oh, boy. I wouldn't want him to be staring at me right now.
Me neither.
All right, we'll be back.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Okay, so Ridgepoint had to call the timeout because Kovo recognized that they had 12 men on the field. 10:14 to go in the third quarter. Ridgepoint leading 21-7, and Marvin Session back to receive the punt of Scott Stanford. And that's a wobbly spiral. Grabbed by Session at the 46, heads to the right. Gets near midfield and stopped right there.
Really good job there by number 20 for the Spartans, Christian Perez. So many times you see the guy who's on the edge lose contain, and Perez just did a great job of staying in a perfect position to force the ball back inside, and he ended up making the tackle.
Yeah, I didn't call that very well. I was kind of distracted by something. I'm communicating with our producer, Daniel Garrigan, and he asked me a question I couldn't really understand. It was about human existence. No, it wasn't. It was about something else. First and 10. Fake to Charlo. Emmanuel keeps it, runs up the middle, He's tall and lean, but he's strong, and he moves tacklers about 3 extra yards and gains 9 to the 41-yard line of Seven Lakes.
Yeah, Singh made that tackle again. He's been really active on the D-line tonight.
Seven Lakes likes to play their music loud, and that's good. We like that. Ezel Jolly in the pistol behind Emmanuel. Second down and just about a foot to go. They feed Jolly. He's hit in the backfield, and that's going to set up a third and a full 1 yard.
Big stop right there.
By the way, a little snarling and snapping. That was, let's see, who's the guy that made that tackle there? Single digit, right
Number
over there?
9.
Number 9. That's Tychius Brinkley, and he's just a sophomore, and he pushed Jolly way back behind the line of scrimmage, and Ezel didn't like that. 3rd and 1. Ryan Phillips, a blocking back for Jolly. No, it's going to be Emmanuel keeping around the left side. Outside the numbers, still going. Far sideline, first down and more, and out of bounds at the 23, but a flag is down. Looks like Ridgepoint might have been caught. Kovo thinks it's holding.
Yeah, I think the thing I've been most surprised with, Roger, is that Ezel Jolly's been kind of kept in check tonight.
He has.
So you really got to tip your cap to the Seven Lakes defense. I mean, honestly speaking, there's been the one big snap over the head which derailed the Seven Lakes drive, but Seven Lakes, I think they played about their best possible game. You know, they're still hanging there in striking distance of Ridgepoint, playing really good defense. They're getting a great game out of their senior quarterback, Grayson Medford. O-line is playing well. They're running the football inside pretty good. I mean, if you're Jimmy Hammond, I mean, you can't. The only thing that you're missing is just a 1 or 2 just big momentum swing and play your way, like a pick six or a scoop and score fumble, something like that. I think if Seven Lakes can get one of those, they got a shot.
And Ridgepoint has had this opportunity to go up by 3 touchdowns, but they go from 2nd and a foot to now 3rd down and 8. After the holding penalty, Emmanuel stands strong in the pocket. Now escapes to the left, looking down the field. Dodges a tackle and gets the first down. He can shift into a high gear so quickly. It's almost like he shifts out of 2nd and goes to 4th and then 5th when he needs it. And that moves the sticks. Scott Stanford was really in the right place. You take the right angle, but some guys are so quick. Even though you're in the right place, they can get around you. Marshall does it to people all the time.
Yeah, that's Coach Dover's frustrated because he had his guys in the right spot, but they still got the first down. Because honestly, it's like one of those deals. Scott Stanford played that perfectly. He came down, he broke down under control. A lot of guys just come in there wild and miss and come flying by. He couldn't make the tackle. Because that's the thing about Bert Emanuel. He's a big guy. He can run through some tackles.
1st and 10 from the 38, and BJ wants to pass. And he throws deep over the middle for Session. Got it at the 10. Dragging tackler still on his feet and gets to the 5 before they drag him down. Flag. Carson DiAgostino on the tackle along with Bryce Turner. What's it going to be?
Ridgepoint offense walking back to the huddle.
Oh, no.
I think it might be a legal formation or something.
Ineligible man downfield. Oh, boy. The viewing of the tape, if assuming Ridgepoint holds on and wins this game, the viewing of the tape during the week as they prep for their next one will be most unpleasant at times.
Because I talked about Seven Lakes hasn't gotten like a big play like a pick six, but Ridgepoint is with these penalties that are taking big plays off the board, they're kind of like cracking that door open. They're cracking the door open to give Seven Lakes a chance to get back in this football game. And just want to really compliment BJ Emanuel on that poster out there to Marvin Session. So many other quarterbacks just kind of throw it up for grabs. He put it on a perfect line because he saw that Session had inside position, so he just put it on him real quick. There's no way the defensive back can defend that.
Yeah. 1st and 15. Give up the middle. There goes Jolly. Just about 2 yards, and that's it. It'll be 2nd down and 13. That Seven Lakes defense, pretty stubborn. Number 92, Ikechika Ezima.
I've talked about the most impressive team physically that I've seen this year myself is Spring Westfield. the best player, the best quarterback I've seen is definitely Bert Emanuel Jr. I mean, he really is a total package.
And by the way, the Westfield quarterback, I think it's Darnell Williams.
Cardell.
Yeah. That guy's good.
He's very good.
He's really good.
He's very good. But I still think Bert Emanuel is one notch, one little sliver above.
2nd down and 12. BJ to pass. Drops back, screen. Set it up. There goes Charlo looking for room. And he gets within about 5 yards of the first down. He kind of hesitated as he waited for that blocking to materialize, but it really didn't blossom like he had hoped. And Jonah Thigpen made the tackle, and it'll set up a 3rd down. The Panthers are still going to need 5.
I want to point out good sportsmanship. Scott Stanford delivered the hit on Emanuel after the play and actually fell on top of Emanuel. He helped Emanuel get up, and as they're walking back to the huddle, Emanuel gave Stanford a pat on the rump there. So just two combatants that are just showing great sportsmanship tonight.
3rd down and 5. Quick pass out route to Charlo. He's hit, and he only gets 3 yards, and that's a beautiful open field one-on-one tackle from Blake Miller that sets up a 4th and 2.
Yeah, all in all, Seven Lakes has tackled pretty well tonight. Yes, they've missed a couple one-on-ones against Bert Emanuel, but I mean, who doesn't? You know, Bert's going to win some of those one-on-ones, but I'd say for the most part, Seven Lakes is getting guys down on the ground.
I remember after that game against Bush, Coach LaFavor said they really needed to clean some things up, and he'll say the same thing after this game, even if Ridge Point comes out with the win. 4th down and 2. Draw play, Jolly hit in the backfield. He will not get the first down. He is stoned for no gain. And the guy who sniffed it out for those Seven Lakes Spartans with Alec Carlberg. 1st and 10. And the Spartans, if they can, the defense's great play can inspire the offense and they get a score out of this drive, then we'll have us a serious playoff football game.
That's going to be the hard part, though. You know, it's just so hard to score against Ridge Point. We'll see if Seven Lakes can do it, though.
Medford has just played a great game thus far. 1st down and 10. He gives it off to Amico. Amico slants off the right side. Very determined. Depends on where they spot it. He either got 3 or he got 4, and they're going to give him credit for a 4-yard gain to the 34. Cortez Nichols and a host of Panthers in on the tackle. By the way, tomorrow night, 6:45 countdown to kickoff show, and we'll have the Marshall Buffs Class 5A Division II playoff opener against Barbers Hill. Marshall has just been unstoppable this year. They really have not played anyone that has challenged them. We'll see how far they go. Snap to Medford, play fake, rolls to the right, trying to get away, being under a heavy rush, near sideline, throws late, and it's incomplete. One of his few inaccurate passes, but he did throw it in a safe direction, and I'm not sure who he was trying to get it to. Maybe it's Evan Tomalty, tight end. I couldn't quite make out the number, but it's 3rd down and 6. We're more than halfway through the 3rd quarter. Ridge Point fans, if your girls can beat Dawson tomorrow night at Sam Houston State University in the Region 3-6A semifinal, we'll have their match on Saturday at noon. It might be against Katy. Could be. Medford rolls to the right, throws near the sideline, completion and a 1st down. Ridge Point left a hole in their coverage, and Bo Cluett made the catch, dived for the sideline, got out at the 45. That's a pickup of 11 and a 1st down. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com.
Bo knows 3rd down conversions. Remember the old Bo Jackson commercials back in the early 90s?
Yes, yeah, he's Bo spelled B-O.
And this is a B-E-A-U.
This is B-E-A-U, yes. Like a good Louisiana boy. Not necessarily, though. Could be from Texas. Make it the 46, 1st and 10. Stretch play going left, and it's Barrett Hudson, and he can only weave his way back to the line of scrimmage, and James Wally squashed him.
Oh, man.
What are you laughing at?
I love me some DJ Nectaval. it was all clean before the whistle, but he ran up and popped Taylor Davis right in the face. But not like punch or anything, but like just a hard block right in his face. If he was from Louisiana, would he be B-E-A-U-X?
He might be. It depends on if his parents went to LSU.
Yeah, but here I know we mentioned Cluett wasn't showing up on the stats for top receivers, but I know from talking to Coach Hammond, he kind of is their de facto lead guy.
Medford wants to pass. He's being rushed again, and he flings it toward the line of scrimmage, and he just got it there. James Wally and Mason Hall decided, hey, let's meet later at the quarterback, and they did on that play, but Medford was able to turn it into a no gain. And, on the previous play, I said it was a no gain. It was actually a loss of 1. And so it's 3rd and 11.
The hard part for Seven Lakes, they're not really getting, like, consistent offense in the sense, like, a lot of it is Medford creating something or, just, I don't know. This is going to be a big one. They've had some success in the bootleg, finding, like, the deep out route. That's what they found on the last third down conversion. We'll see what they do here.
On 3rd and 11, Medford drops back. Late blitz comes. He escapes. He's being chased, but he runs to the stick, and he gets there for a first down, a 12-yard pickup to the Ridgepoint 44. He just knows when to take off.
Yeah, and Braden Phillips did a good job of turning from receiver into blocker quickly, like realizing that it's turning into a run play, and he was able to kind of throw a little block there that helped Medford get in there for the first down.
Well, wait a minute. They marked him short.
Got to go for it here.
4th and less than 1. I can't imagine they didn't give him the first down. He knew where the stick was. I think he went out where he needed to, but they marked him with 4th and less than 1, and here we go. This is the biggest play of the game so far. Ridgepoint leading 21-7. High snap. Medford collects it. He's hit. He's sacked.
Man.
The ball goes over on downs. A 5-yard loss. It threw the timing off on the play. By the time he had a grip on the football, the rush had engulfed him.
We talk about this all the time, Roger. I mean, the one thing that I don't get, now I'm a former offensive lineman, but I never played center, but I don't get the bad snaps all the time. I know it's difficult, but I mean, I also know that there are centers out there that deliver all the time, and it's just so killer. I mean, to me, that's the one thing. If I was to go back to coaching, the thing I always insisted on was give me my best snapper at center first, and we build from there. Because you can't have that. That gives you no chance to be successful right there.
And if you have a quarterback sneak, you don't have a snap that comes in high and hot. There goes Ezel Jolly on the first play. He's running hard. He gets 10. That'll be a first down for the Ridgepoint Panthers. Shashwat Singh with another tackle, but it moves the sticks. It's a first down. Think of First Tire and Automotive. For all your car care needs, check them out at firsttireandauto.com. They have a location in Katy Cinco Ranch. You should go there, Seven Lakes fans. Ball at the 39, 1st and 10 for Ridgepoint. And I foresee something coming here, Kovo. But I can't tell you yet because I think Ridgepoint's about to snap it. Pistol formation, Jolly behind Emmanuel. Emmanuel sends Ashton Bethel Roman in motion from left to right. Now he sets up in the slot. Stretch play, there goes Jolly. And he can't find any running room. In fact, he's dropped for a loss of 1. He got a whole face full of number 40. We've been calling his name lots of times. Cooper Witten makes a tackle for a loss of 1, 2nd and 11. I think this is going to be like the George Ranch game. I walked into the stadium that night after broadcasting a Marshall game that was one-sided and ended early, and it was only 23-14 Ridgepoint when I walked in late in the third quarter, but they ended up winning going away. I think we're going to see Ridgepoint just kind of assert itself in the fourth quarter. On second down, there's a quick swing pass to Ashton Bethel Roman.
Wow.
Near the numbers on the near side, and the Seven Lakes defense reacts beautifully.
Great job by Scotty Stanford.
Just a 2-yard gain. Carson D'Agostino came over, and Kyle Kirstan.
Yeah, and Stanford got in there too. He came from the inside out. Marvin Session had the angle on him to try to block him down inside. Stanford avoided the block and got in on the tackle. Just that's not easy to do.
It's 3rd and 8 Ridgepoint. The offense just has not gotten rolling. They've had 2 long scoring plays from the first half, But other than that, this Seven Lakes defense has put together an awesome game plan. Your buddy, wow.
Phil Dober.
Play fake. Emmanuel escapes. Barely. No, he doesn't. He is sacked for a loss of 2. He does manage to squirm forward. And that was an amazing move by BJ, and turns it into from a 2-yard loss into a 3-yard gain. Actually, a 2-yard gain. But it's 4th down, and they have 6 to go, and they're going to go for it. If any defense wants to study how you bottle up the Rich Point offense, they can just look at this tape.
Yeah. And I think it's just by playing good. I saw a little bit of blitzing, but I think a lot of it's just playing base defense and playing a good technique and just knowing tendency. But I don't see anything too exotic.
2 receivers to either side. Deep pass. Session. Post pattern. Got it! Right down the middle. Touchdown! And Rich Point, after struggling to make first downs on 4th and 6, throws a 35-yard touchdown pass. B.J. Emanuel to Marvin Session. And during the regular season, B.J. Emanuel, 25 touchdown passes without a single interception.
That's amazing.
Tonight, multiple touchdown passes and still no picks.
Like I said, he's I don't know. From what I've seen, he's the best quarterback in the city, maybe in the state. But I haven't got to see a lot of the teams. But I'm just so impressed. There again, he threw the post route to Session.
Holden Gray's extra point kick up and good. 28-7 to Ridge Point. 45 seconds to go in quarter number 3. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life. Like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra, and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
Welcome back. Ridge Point gets itself a 3-touchdown lead for the first time tonight against these hard-fighting Seven Lakes Spartans. Holden Gray's kickoff is short, and a fair catch called for and made at the 13-yard line. Bryce Turner secures the football. And so it'll be 1st and 10 from the 25, and do you get the feeling, Kovo, that maybe there's really nothing left in the bag for Seven Lakes to do? They've probably put their best foot forward offensively. They played very well. It's been tough to finish drives. They made a few mistakes on those snaps that have gotten away from Medford. Other than that, I'm not sure what else they have to put on the table here.
Yes, I agree. I do. I agree with that entire summary there.
Medford gives it off to Barrett Hudson. Starts right, turns it up. Nice gain, 6 yards.
Really nice block there by number 60, Kyle Kirstan.
Yep. Cortez Nichols makes the tackle for Ridge Point. Ball moves out to the 31, 2nd and 4.
Yeah, Kirstan's playing center, so he's had a couple of those bad snaps, but right there he pulled from the center position, which is not easy to do. So that's just showing a lot of athletic ability there from Kyle Kirstan.
Medford takes the snap and hands it off, and Hudson tries to get free, but he's dropped for a loss of 1 yard. And big James Eaglin, such a huge nose tackle, but very, very mobile, moves over to his right, and that's the end of the third quarter. We'll be back 28-7. Ridge Point on top of Seven Lakes, first round of the playoffs.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
3rd and 5 from their own 30, Seven Lakes, as we open the fourth quarter. 3rd and 4, let's call it. And it is a rollout by Medford. He's being pressured, and he's knocked down at the 14-yard line. Flying in, Cameron Richardson gets himself a sack. And I think it really wasn't that hard for him. Medford was trying to make a quick cut, and he basically fell down.
Yeah, they had Landon Ross come wide open for the tight end, dragging from the backside on that boot route, on the bootleg. But, yeah, just couldn't get the great job there on the sack. So Medford unable to get it to the open receiver.
So I think we might see a fourth quarter kind of like we saw when the Panthers went to George Ranch. Sneeden with the punt. No, it's Stanford, rather. The ball bounces once, and Session won't get a chance to run it back, but it'll be good field position for Ridgepoint as the punt dies at the 45-yard line, 30-yard punt.
Yeah, I think Stanford is more their punter.
Yeah.
Sneeden, the place kicker. But, yeah, he's done a pretty good job all night, but especially I think he's one of their best defenders. I noticed him last year as a guy that always had a nose for the football, especially around the goal line, and then this year he's been elevated to a captain status, and, yeah, he's everywhere on defense.
Well, let's see. I had something really good about him. I'm going to find it because I want to give credit where it's due. He really has showed us he's an amazing player. Maybe, okay, hold on. Dawson running to the right on first down for the Panthers, and it's just a gain of one. Is that Stanford who tripped him up? Wow.
Great job by Scott Stanford. They try to run the stretch play to the outside. Stanford did a good job staying outside the tight end, defeating the block, and he made the tackle.
Okay, Scott Stanford on the season, 4 fumble recoveries. He scooped one up and scored with it. 56 tackles to lead the team and 8 tackles for loss also to lead the team.
He's not a big guy. You look at Scott Stanford, I mean, you wouldn't know it by just looking at him in uniform, but he's a baller.
On 2nd and 10, swing pass near side, Dawson trying to make a move and get through, and he does! 30-25 down the near sideline! He's gonna go! Mason Dawson, 45-yard touchdown catch. He just turned on the Jets and slipped between tacklers, and Ridgepoint makes it a 34-7 game with the extra point to come.
I can't believe he's only a sophomore.
Well, his name is Dawson, D-O-S-S-E-T-T, but he's kind of running at times like Tony Dorsett, NFL Hall of Famer.
He kind of reminds me of Christian McCaffrey.
Yeah.
He does a good job catching out of the backfield really easily, and, so that'd be my player comp for him. Tony Dorsett, a little bit before my time.
Yeah, but greatness. But, he does run a lot like McCaffrey, and Holden Gray kicks the extra point. It's 35-7 with 10:18 to go. We'll be back on VypeFortBend.com.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website FirstIronAuto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. FirstIronAuto.com.
Hello fans, this is Bradley Stavanaugh with Needville Insurance. We know Fort Bend County. I'm a 4th generation resident of Fort Bend. I'm your local, hometown, trusted agent. With over 30 carriers and 9 auto insurance carriers, we shop the insurance for you. We know insurance is hard. We know it's complicated. We make it easy for you. We have Spanish speakers here available for you. Call us at 979-793-7411 or needvilleinsurance.com. Once again, call us 979-793-7411.
All right, so Ridge Point is really taking command in here, 35-7. Holden Gray kicks it a little bit deeper than normal, another fair catch. Okay, so Kovo, we talked about what Scott Stanford has done. He is a senior. He's a great player. He's impressed us so much, but we can kind of see he's not a 5-star recruit. He may play college ball somewhere, but whether he does or not, a guy that had 4 fumble recoveries, including a scoop and score, and led his team in tackles and tackles for loss, and we've watched him play. We can see his passion from up here. If Seven Lakes doesn't come back and win this game, he's going to be crying his eyes out after it's over, because you can see he loves to play football.
Agreed.
Gotta love that. Medford on the spread formation snap. Hands it off, and they run for 4 yards on the right side. They've been feeding the ball to D'Amico and Barrett Hudson, and that was D'Amico. He picked up 5.
So who would, assuming Ridge Point wins this game, this will turn to our bracket here.
Cy-Fair or Lamar?
Tough draw. Wow. I'm assuming that'll be Cy-Fair.
Yeah, I would think so too. Give 6 to D'Amico on the previous play. 2nd down and 4. Now they're going to throw a reverse and then a pass that's incomplete. They handed it off to number 19, Braden Phillips, and he moved over to his right. He wanted to get it back to Medford, but Ridge Point had somebody who stayed at home over there on the right side and made sure it didn't break for something big.
Yeah, I like the creativity there in the play call, but I mean, I agree with you. It's like Seven Lakes is just having to just try to nickel and dime it down the field, and that's the thing. It's just hard to put together a 12-play drive against Ridge Point. Something bad is bound to happen, like a bad snap, or you know, and so they just keep getting derailed before they can finish drives.
Okay, you guys.
They're unable to get that big play, you know.
Okay.
Medford dropping back on 3rd and 4. Here comes the late rush. He's retreating all the way back to his 5-yard line. What's he going to do? He just flings it near the line of scrimmage, and it's short of the line of scrimmage. There was a receiver over there, so there's no way it's going to be grounding. But, you know, I don't think I've seen a quarterback retreat that far since Bob Greasy was sacked for a 29-yard loss by Bob Lilly of the Cowboys in Super Bowl 6.
You know, yeah, I see that player comp, but I see a little bit of Johnny Manziel too. Just how effortlessly because he started sprinting out to his right, then all of a sudden he just started, boom, he's rolling out to his left. I mean, he's just really effortless back there while keeping his eyes down the field.
You're right. Stanford to punt. And Marvin Session wants to grab the football, but it's surrounded by white jerseys. He keeps running close to the ball like he wants to pick it out of there, but discretion is the better part of valor in that case, and it rolls to a stop at the 26.
I would love to put a Fitbit on Coach LeFavor's and see how many steps and calories he burns in a game. Did you see him? He's just if you watch him, he kind of just sprints back and forth up and down the sideline.
I didn't see that. I was kind of watching the football, but it was
I love
a 46-yard punt with no return.
He's running right now. He's running back to he's talking to the defense.
Kind of like
look at him now. He's high-fiving the defense. I mean, I love it. I love that energy.
Now, one thing that Seven Lakes has done, other than turning it over on downs, they haven't turned it over. Give to Dawson up the middle. Gets back to the line of scrimmage, and Seven Lakes is there to squash him. Singh.
Yeah, Singh has had a really good game.
Oh, man. Shashwat Singh.
Is he only a junior? No, he's a senior.
He's a senior.
I was saying, he's really stood out to me as being the most active defensive lineman tonight.
Singh. Two receivers either side. Second down and 10 for Bert Emanuel Jr. and the Ridgepoint Panthers, who lead 35-7. 8:26 to go. BJ may be changing the play. Spartans threatening to blitz. Dossett moves to the right. Second down and 10. Emanuel drops back. Rolls to his right. Looks sideline, and it's a catch made by Marvin Session at the 30-yard line. Beautiful 2-foot toe tap, but it's only a gain of 3 to the 31. Out of bounds with 8:08 to go. So what else we got as far as, let's look, for example, Tompkins and Travis, who they would play, the winner of Tompkins versus Travis.
They play the winner of Jersey Village and West Side, which I would project Jersey Village will win that one.
Me too. Coach Schnockhaus may be having his best season ever at Jersey Village.
He's been there a long time.
On 3rd and 6, steps up, escapes, he runs, he'll have the first down and runs out of bounds near the 45.
That's how he pronounces it?
Schnockhaus?
Yeah.
I believe so. Yeah.
I've always heard it said Snookhouse, but I don't know that for sure. I know you do a good job asking pronunciations.
Well, I guess I'm kind of thinking it's that way based on hearing television anchors say it that way, which often they are right, but not always. First and 10 for Ridgepoint from their 44. Emanuel throws it out here to Charlo, who already has a touchdown tonight. Jitterbug moves, and he moves across the 50-yard line, out of bounds on the 7 Lakes side of it at the 49. 7:45 to go. Stops the clock again as he goes out of bounds.
Do you remember when Cy-Fair a couple years ago, their coach is either Pajewski or Pajovsky?
Yeah, it's very hard
That's
to
another
say.
one that I wanted to know. I just wish I could get a clarification on how to pronounce that one correctly.
He said Pujovsky.
Pujovsky, okay.
It looks like it would have more syllables. There goes Dossett running over the left side. Again, the run defense is strong for Seven Lakes. Just a 2-yard pickup as Alec Carlberg pushed him back.
I saw Wilson Batiste getting after it in the run blocking. That's really cool to see. A guy who's had some big plays through the air tonight. I mean, he's taking pride in his blocking. And I really believe teams take on the personality of their leader and their coach. And so the fact that I was watching the Ridgepoint defense at the end of the third quarter, they all ran down the other side. Because I noticed Coach LaFavors was running with them. And I mean, honestly, I think that this LaFavors' energy translates into these guys hustling around and blocking hard and doing those little things that are going to help them win the big tough games.
3rd down and 2 out of the pistol. Stretch play. There goes Dossett trying to get to the edge. Stiff arms a man. He's dropped.
Oh, guess who?
Scott Stanford again.
Man.
Drops him 1 yard shy of what he needs for the first down, and I think Ridgepoint will go for it.
NCAA granted, waivers last year in 2020 to give another year of eligibility.
Yes.
I'm sure Coach Hammond is going to be politicking to get Scott Stanford a 5th year of eligibility down there at Seven Lakes High School.
The way they spotted the football, it's actually no gain for Dossett on that previous play. We haven't seen Ezel Jolly in the game in a long time.
I think that's by design, I believe.
Out of the spread, it's Emanuel quick kicking it. Lands outside the 20, rolls on down near the 10. Panthers watching it roll all the way to the 5, fanning it. That's silly, but they're having fun. And that's where Seven Lakes will have to start, trailing by 28 with 6 minutes left, and they'll be at their own 5-yard line. We'll take a quick break and return. VypeFortBend.com.
You are the master of the multitask, the champion of making it happen. Taking care of business is not for the faint of heart. Still, you take care of it. Everything, and we mean everything. We take care of you, so you can take care of business. Office Depot Office Max.
Taking care of business.
Seven Lakes from its own 5, running up the middle and finding the going tough. That's Barrett Hudson, and he only picked up 1. I can't see who made the tackle for the Panthers, but I think But it was Jeremiah Hector.
Yeah, and I was looking for Ezel Jolly on the sideline. I do see him. So I don't think it's any kind of injury. I think, just as the game, just preserving him to make sure. And also, Dawson's a great running back in his own right. So it's not just that I think they're trying to preserve Ezel. It's just Dawson's part of their plans regardless.
And they did that, I think, in that Saturday game, Bush and Ridgepoint. Medford is going to run it to the left, just looking for a crease somewhere. And I think he ended up getting stopped for no gain. It was a 2-yard gain on the previous play, no gain there. So 3rd down and 8. And I smell a pick.
But you're starting to see Ridgepoint work in some of their reserve defenders. I still see Taylor Davis out there, a free safety, but I'm seeing a lot of new faces in the other positions.
Yeah, Taylor Davis with a pair of pick sixes this year. One of them 109 yards back against George Ranch. 4:38 to go, 35-7. Medford drops back into his end zone, running for his life, throwing near sideline, got a completion, and down at the 12-yard line, short of the first down. Seven Lakes will have to punt it away. And I didn't see who caught it. Did you? Sorry about that.
It was the back out in the flat, but I didn't get the number.
Okay. I think it might have been Bo Cluett. It might have been Braden Phillips. 4th and 4. Are they leaving their offense on the field?
I don't mind it.
I don't mind either. I'm just surprised if they do.
Yeah, they're backed up deep, but I think it kind of shows like, hey, we're going to just go down fighting.
All right, they do take a timeout. 4:24 to go, 35-7 Ridgepoint. We'll be back.
You work hard, so you deserve the good things in life, like getting an amazing deal on awesome internet. That's why there's never been a better time to switch to Xfinity. Get the fast and reliable internet you deserve for $19.99 a month for 12 months with a 1-year contract. And for the first time ever, ask how to get 12 times the speed for the same internet price when you add Xfinity Mobile. Just imagine. Faster downloads, more streaming, the possibilities are endless. That's more speed and more value for the same price. Oh yeah, and for a limited time, ask how to get $300 back. So what are you waiting for? Sign up now, because you deserve awesome internet. Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay. Ends 11/21/21. Restrictions apply. New Connect Internet 50 megabits per second customers only. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra and subject to change. After term, regular rates apply.
Might be Seven Lakes' last stand right here. 4th down and 4, and they are going for it. Medford. Ridgepoint moved but didn't jump across. Play clock is at 12 seconds. Medford rolling to his left, looking down the field, fires from his goal line, and he's got a completion for a first down at the 24-yard line. No. Is it incomplete?
What? No way.
Ridgepoint players, it is a first down. Ridgepoint players just wishful thinking were signaling incomplete, but it was caught. That was Bo Cluett. What an amazing catch.
Ridgepoint's had trouble defending that area, right? So they're playing cover 3 defense. The outside receivers running the cornerback deep. That deep, flat area is where Seven Lakes has been coming open all night.
From the 24, Medford rolling to his right. Flings it near the sideline. Got a completion near the 30 and slipping, and his knee went down. That's Devin Wright with his first catch. And that's a gain of 6. 2nd down and 4 at the 30. We're under 4 minutes to go. Ridgepoint is going to win their first playoff game tonight. They're up by 28. Medford hands it off inside. It's Amico. He gets the first down, gets to the 35. That'll move the sticks. Think of First Tire and Automotive for all your car care needs. Check them out at firsttireandauto.com. Xavier Myers on the tackle for the Panthers. Seven Lakes going no huddle as they set the chains. 3:19 to go and the clock ticks. Medford drops straight back. They protect him. He stands up in the pocket and now escapes, gets across the 40 and tries to sidestep a man but goes down at the 40-yard line. and it's a 5-yard pickup.
You know, the one thing that I love that Coach LeFevers does, and only a broadcaster can appreciate this, they have the best roster construction in the business. And I'll explain why in a second.
2nd down and 4. Amico running hard, gets the first down across midfield, running over tacklers, fighting like his life depends on it, and takes it to the 42. So what do you like about the roster?
I love how they do this at the college level sometimes, but this is the only high school I've seen that shows the experience. And so it's showing you how many varsity letters they have, or what sub-varsity team they played on the prior year.
Yeah.
That's really cool.
Medford stands strong, throws, and the pass is almost intercepted. It was a tip up in the air, and Peyton Doucette could have grabbed it and run a long way.
Yeah, so for instance, Peyton Doucette, he's a junior, and then for experience it says JV. So that tells me that as a sophomore he played on the JV team. You know, whereas let's say Bert Emanuel Jr., he's a senior, but he's got 2 varsity letters. That means he's been playing varsity since he's a sophomore. I really enjoy that. I think it's really, I don't know, I think that's just a cool thing that Rick LeFevers does on this roster.
I do too, and the roster is very similar on both. Seven Lakes doesn't show the experience, but they do have a lot of columns. 2nd down and 10. Medford drops back. Late blitz comes, but he throws the screen pass to Amico, and he fights. He's got a first down. Gain of 12, and a flag comes in right there at the end. That's going to be a shame. It'll probably wipe out a first down catch and run for Seven Lakes with 2:15 left.
Also, he has like the number of returning lettermen and how many lettermen were lost. He's got how many offensive and defensive starters. He's got the district champs 2013, 14, 15, 16, 18, 20. It's very collegiate. It's almost like a sports information director created this for him, and this, you know, like their team yearbook essentially. So I don't know. Coach LeFevers started in the collegiate ranks. I mean, I know he was at TCU under Coach Patterson there for a while. I know he was at A&M as a strength coach for a time. He was at Rice as special teams coordinator under Coach Bailiff for a long period. That's what kind of brought him to the Siena area. So yeah, he's kind of got a very collegiate style to him.
Okay, Kovo, I think there are several games that people are interested in tonight, including Travis versus Tompkins. So when this one's over, instead of our usual quick goodbye, why don't we take a break and come back and just give, I don't know, maybe a half dozen games, the ones that really, you know, have some prominent state contender types? How about
good.
that? Your app seems to work better than mine.
Okay.
So the clock now starts running again as Seven Lakes is not really in a hurry to snap it again. They trail 35-7. 2:05 to go. 2nd down and very long after that holding penalty. Wiped out a 12-yard gain on the screen pass to Amico. Medford drops back. Steps up in the pocket, throws it deep. It's up in the air, and it's incomplete. Nearly an interception for J.J. Davis. And he's just really upset with himself. Now, that was an opportunity for a 95-yard pick six. But he, of course, would have had to run a long, long way and make a lot of moves. That stops the clock with 1:45 to go. The down and distance is 3rd and 20. So Ridge Point will move on to meet the winner of the game between Cy-Fair and Lamar. Now, the last time Ridge Point beat Seven Lakes in the first round and then played Cy-Fair, it was disastrous because Will Pendergrass, by the way, that's a timeout called. We got to take a timeout here. We'll be right back.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Don't miss the UIL Football State Championship starting Wednesday, December 15th at AT&T Stadium in Arlington. Ticket information and more can be found at uiltexas.org. And know that if Ridgepoint and or Marshall gets to the state championship round, we will be there and bring it to you on VypeFortBend.com. It sure would be great to make a 2-for-1 trip, you know. Marshall at 11 a.m. and then later in the day, Ridgepoint. In fact, Ridgepoint might even play right after Marshall. If those two teams make it, the Class 5A Division II is on Saturday, December the 18th. By the way, there's another timeout. We got to take one. We'll be back.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
So I know this is a long way ahead, but we have to plan these things. So December 18th is when you play the 5A Division II championship game. If Marshall makes it, that's when they would play, and then Ridgepoint, I think, would play right after that on that afternoon consecutively. Draw play to Amico. Long way to go, 3rd and 20. And Ridgepoint just squashes the play. It had no chance, and Kyler Thaman made the tackle for the Panthers. It's going to be 4th down and 16. And this is truly the last stand for Seven Lakes.
It's been a good effort by the Spartans. You know, I mean, I think Ridgepoint definitely has the more talented team tonight, so I think the score is reflective of that. But, I mean, it's definitely no fault of the Spartans. They played their best game tonight.
Medford throws, and it's a little hook and lateral play, but it's not enough for the first down as Marcel Davis takes the flip back from Braden Phillips, and that's short of the first down. And it's first down, Ridgepoint.
And personally, I like Coach Hammond using these timeouts at the end. I mean, to me, you owe it to those seniors just to keep fighting all the way down to the very end. And I think it sets a tone for the younger kids as well. Just that's the mentality of the program.
I agree. You know, you just never want to keep fighting. I mean, you never want to stop fighting. Right. I mean, it's a little bit different in football when the clock is the clock. In baseball, for example, there is no clock. You never quit trying to catch up.
That was a turnover on downs. I guess we got this a little distracted there.
Yeah, I guess we were. Jolly back in the game, runs it straight up the middle. And I think we're going to see one more play, and that'll be that.
Yep. So that answers the question about Jolly. You know, he is in there, so thankfully he is healthy. So no worries there.
Also in is Carson Gordon, the backup quarterback. So B.J. Emanuel will take the rest of the night off, the last 30 seconds. And let's see, even though we won't be able to be there for volleyball in the regional semifinals tomorrow night, I have a prediction. As we get to 18 seconds, and Gordon takes the snap, hands it off to Jolly, straight up the middle. Gain of about 7, and that'll be the final play. 8 seconds to go. And the Ridgepoint Panthers have successfully advanced through the first round of the playoffs. The two teams will line up and shake hands. And so we will, I was just going to complete that thought. So the Ridgepoint girls are in Huntsville tomorrow at 5 p.m. I wonder if you're a Ridgepoint football player, would Coach LeFavor say, we don't have to practice tomorrow after a Thursday night? Would he give those boys the chance to drive all the way to Huntsville and be there in time for a 5 o'clock match the Ridge Point girls against Pearland Dawson. Well, all I know is if Ridge Point beats Dawson, then I will be in Huntsville on Saturday. All right, Kovo and I will take a break. We'll be back, get some scores for you, and set up the game tomorrow. Marshall taking on Barbers Hill. Don't go away.
First Iron Automotive heard you were thinking of starting your holiday shopping earlier this year, so the season of giving starts now. $15 off oil changes, $100 off 4 tires, and save on just about any service. Head to the website firstironauto.com and claim your savings. First Iron Automotive, a proud sponsor of Fort Bend Vype Sports. Make your appointment today at any of the 4 convenient locations in Sugar Land and Cinco Ranch. All 4 stores open on Saturday. firstironauto.com.
Hi, this is Mariela
and Melina coming to you from Nick's Italian Restaurant, where you can come and try one of our house specialties, the Nick's Shrimp, or one of our chicken pistachios. Not in the mood for food, you can also try one of our savory desserts like our homemade tiramisu or cannoli.
We're located on FM 1464, just north of Austin High School.
Can't dine in? You can call ahead at 346-401-1546 7 days a week from 11 a.m. to 10 p.m. Or you can hit us on one of the major delivery platforms, Uber, Grubhub, or DoorDash.
We look forward to seeing you here at Nick's Italian Restaurant, where our family gets bigger every time you stop by.
Archer Volkswagen showroom is open, and our team's excited to help you. Visit our sales department Monday through Saturday from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. Or bring your car in for service from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday, and Saturdays from 9 a.m. to 2 p.m. We're closed on Sundays to rest and recharge with our families, so we can serve you well through the week. We hope to see you soon.
The Ridge Point Panthers get a trophy for winning tonight's game and advancing into the second round. Our final 35-7. And James Kovaleski has a roundup of scores that'll be of interest to our listeners at VypeFortBend.com. That's you.
All right, so yeah, looking at playoff action here for tonight in round 1 on a Thursday night. Game's still going. Madison's kind of put some points on the board. So Crosby's leading Madison 65-30. Westfield's halfway through the fourth quarter up 55-14 over Conroe. Tompkins has finally extended their lead 49-21 over Travis. And then finals for tonight, we talked about Pato defeating Ball 54-0. Tomball over Cy Park 52-29. Of course, we brought you Ridge Point and Seven Lakes 35-7. North Shore 62, Dobie 14. And then College Park 42, Aldine Nimitz 0.
So I guess that kind of is sad for you. You're the voice of Aldine on
I'm the
Vype,
voice of
and so do they have any other teams in the playoffs who have a chance to do something?
No.
So that's it?
Because the spring ISD schools took first through third spot. So Nimitz was the king of Aldine ISD this year, so they took home the fourth spot and unfortunately fell tonight to College Park.
Yeah, well, there aren't too many multiple school ISDs who can say all of our teams went to the playoffs, but Spring can say that.
Yes, they can.
The Spring Lions, the Westfield Mustangs, and the Decaney Wildcats. All right, so tomorrow night, starting at 6:45, Kovo will be probably enjoying a nice evening with his wife, Christine.
We're going to go to the Rice UH men's basketball game.
I'll bet that'll be fun.
I'm excited for that.
Is it at Tudor or the new U of H arena?
It'll be at the Fertitta Center.
Okay. So enjoy that, and it'll be Patrick Kinnick and me sitting here high atop Hall Stadium on the upper concourse, and we'll bring you the game between Marshall and Barbers Hill. It's a good thing it's not a baseball game. I don't think Marshall would have a chance against the reigning state champions from Barbers Hill. But speaking of state champions, Marshall believes they have the team to get back to the state championship game for the third time in 4 years, and maybe the third time will be the charm. And the first step on the playoff road, the Buffs' hope, is tomorrow night right here at Hall Stadium, and we'll be happy to bring that one to you. Also, Ridge Point fans, if your girls can make it to Saturday's Region 3 6A volleyball final, we will have that for you at about 12 noon from Sam Houston State on Saturday. Anything else, James?
No, just congratulations to Seven Lakes. You fell in round one. You drew a tough draw off Ridgepoint, but 7-3 record in the regular season. Another big win over their rivals over at Cinco Ranch. I mean, you can definitely see the trajectory of the program trending up there for Coach Hammond, Coach Dover, and all of the rest of their coaches. And then, of course, congrats to the Panthers. You know, they're looking strong as ever, and I'm excited for this run. And hopefully, give me a holler if you need if you need a sidekick for a couple more of these. Maybe we'll keep it going here.
All right. So I wanted to tell you about one little funny thing
I saw you
that's happening
over
down
there.
After they played the school song, the Panther players assemble outside, the boundary over here on the near side to take a picture. And, of course, one of the picture takers is our good friend, the assistant principal, Rick Gaines, who loves the Panthers as much as any administrator loves the teams at his school. And I don't know why you would be doing this, but Terrence Howard, number 4 for the Panthers, it's almost like he was telling the cheerleaders, don't get in this shot. This is a players-only shot. But I would never have done that at any point in my life. And so the cheerleaders did end up in the shot, and they take the picture, and now everybody is going to be heading for the buses, and we'll start thinking about next week, either Lamar or Cy-Fair. So for James Kovaleski, Suna Venkat, Merle Bertrand, and let's see, Daniel Garrigan, everybody else on the Vype team, we thank you so much for listening. Our final score was Ridgepoint 35 and Seven Lakes 7. We'll continue our coverage with Marshall tomorrow night, and then next week, hopefully, both Ridgepoint and Marshall continuing in the playoffs. Good night, everybody, from Hall Stadium.